of being the competition any more than you were when you lined up across from a superior team. Yeah, on paper, they're a better team.
Right.
They have all the assets and resources and we don't. But let us get on the line, boy, and see if that factors in. I guarantee you it won't.
Wow.
Keep it going. Some bullets in a blowing. Hold it down for the Bay, reppin' Oakland.
It's all a fugazi.
And you know the difference between me reading your papers now and me reading your papers 10 years ago is that now I know when I read it. 10 years ago, I didn't know when I read it.
It's no matter. It's not on the elemental chart. It's not fucking real.
Right. All right.
It didn't happen. It didn't happen. And I hate to seem like a petty individual for picking apart lies.
Carrying a school bag on stage. What are you doing with a school bag on stage? You can't even read.
No, you ain't the champ. Hey, listen, it's only embarrassing. How you gonna do this? Embarrassing. How you gonna do the champ? You go fight more than 4,000 people live. More people in training.
40 years old carrying a school bag. The man doesn't even fucking read.
And Dad tried to teach me of my brothers. Never try to be better than someone else. Always learn from others. And never cease trying to be the best you could be. That's under your control. I coined my own definition of success, which is peace of mind, attained only through self-satisfaction and knowing you made the effort to do the best of which you're capable.
What do you both think about fear?
I'm not in this world to live up to your expectations. I'm here to live up to mine.
He who is not courageous enough to take risks will accomplish nothing in life.
Fear is a teacher.
And I don't skip class.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Oh, me?
Nothing. Me? Just hanging around.
Hey now, say now. Hey now, say now. Hey now, say now.
Hey now. Hey now to you. Yeah. Hey now. Hey now.
Hey now.
Did I just nail the grail?
You just hit the grail.
Did I just nail the grail? Hey now, say now. Hey now, say now.
Oh, wait. I got a show. I have a show. If you, the last 2 weeks, we've hit over 200 on the shows, and they've been good shows. Today, I found something that's just it. You'll get to judge for yourself what you think. It has nothing to do with Neo, although we'll use Neo's channel as one of the. You don't have to. Anyways, good to see the chat. Good to see you guys. I kind of want to run right in. I also have some news. Somebody called me. Scotty B called me before the show, and I have some exclusive Scotty B news. Mike, I talked to the lawsuit. I talked to him earlier today for the first time in a few days. He has some updates. He's going to come on next week because I feel like there'll be more updates by next week. But I have a few things I can update you with. And then later on, we'll have Vintage Dan's Baseball PC. I probably said it wrong. Sorry, Dan. But he's a lawyer as well, so he's going to come shoot holes in the whole idea. Scotty B, you're gonna hear some interesting news. Astro Worm gifting 5 members, bro. Who did it? Charles, you started a little thing. Astro Worm, thank you. And to be honest and to be fair, Astro Worm, I haven't seen you in forever. Astro Worm was here back in September or October. He's the one that asked about memberships. He's like, bro, I like to go into a chat. I like to give memberships. And here we are, February 17th, 2026. Haven't seen him in a while, and he's gifting 5 memberships. Astro Worm, thank you. He gifted myself one. Hey, happy to hear. What else? Clever Q. What I'm going to get into, I'm going to wait 5 minutes. I want the room to fill up a little bit more, but I'm going to wait 5 minutes. I have more stuff we'll throw out in the meantime, also covering Neo here. But what I'm going to show, by the way, it's windy as hell here. So I doubt we lose power. I doubt anything happens. But the one thing no one tells you about Vegas, and you wouldn't know if you just go to the strip, Vegas gets windy. Vegas is very, very windy. Okay, 8,000 subscribers. Excellent. I think we have 2 voicemails. Tomorrow's show, I'm not going live until 6, which I hate doing. I hate breaking up the flow and rhythm. I just have something I have to do before then. So at 6 o'clock, I'll go live tomorrow, 702-483-7344. Leave a voicemail. Again, thank you to Astro. All right, Neo's become a regular in the chat, and I think we've kind of converted him from all the way industry to maybe more in the middle. But let's just see what Neo had to say. He deserves the trolling. He likes to jab at me, so I'm going to jab back. And then on Monday is the collision, and we'll see if we can get anything out of Neo and rile him up a bit. But he deserves what's about to come. So in this video, he opens a Topps Jumbo, and of course, he's mocking Pac-Man in his very dry sense of humor, and that's fine. It came off just fine. He nailed it. But then at the end of his little, I don't know, monologue, he throws me under the bus and some of you under the bus. And trust me, they ain't poor, Neo. I talked to plenty of them in chat. And it's a difference between being poor and being smart, right? So we all know that's a terrible return on investment. We all know I can buy the single I want for way cheaper. Sure, if you want to have a little fun. My guess is, Neo, you're probably opening this for content. It just came out. Maybe Fanatics has their teeth in you. I highly doubt that. I think more to the first is that you're making content. You know, it's good. But the average person, if they're not going to get 2,000 views on this and build a community, you have no business opening this stuff because they put a chase card. So now every breaker and their mom can try to sell it better because there's that big chase hit, even though it's just a base Topps product. I mean, it's, I don't know. I'm not impressed. I wasn't impressed, but let's take a listen to the video. And trust me, what I have to say in 5 minutes just dwarfs any of this. So we'll start this way. And what I'm going to get to in 5 minutes, I'm not even going to mention it until we get there. Well, the title, the big hint of I changed the title to this live as I discovered more. And you're going to leave understanding a lot more and maybe having a different perspective on some of these channels. But here's Neo calling us poor.
Be readily accessible. And you can actually pull some pretty good stuff from these. The All Kings and the All Aces inserts sell for a ton.
The question here becomes, because okay, pull the Ishiro long card. The question becomes, what is the Ishiro worth? So he got a good hit. He actually pulled something. Does it even equal the amount of the box? I don't know. I mean, maybe it's a $500 card. I doubt that. So even when you pull the cool, nice card, it's still, you still didn't win big. It is a nice card. I'd want an Ishiro autograph in my collection. I don't know if he does. Maybe he sells them. I don't know what he does with this product. But even when you do hit something, is it even worth the value of what you paid for? It says paid for the box. All right, fine. I mean, that's it, and that's with the big hit. That's with the good hit. You guys are all, he got a good hit. He did good. So most of the time you don't do good.
Some of the heavy lumber stuff sells for a ton. Gold mirrors are going to do pretty good.
Let's get to it.
Top this one.
So you hear mocking Pac-Man, but then he throws us under the bus for nothing.
Can't believe you guys right now. I mean, are you too poor? Are you too broke? Is that what it is? You're too broke to buy into my Series 1 break? I don't want broke people in the chat.
Here it comes.
All right, we got 2 silver packs. We'll save those at the end.
Hot stuff.
You guys weren't broke. I'd open these right now, but you're poor. So what do you want me to do?
Now, unfortunately, Neo, I know you're just mocking Pac-Man, but there is a good percentage of the country that's fucking poor. So I don't understand this angle. I know you're mocking Pac-Man, but you just listening to it, it's like, dude, there are people that can't afford it. There's most people making under $100,000, which is a decent living, more than the average, has no business spending their money on this. They just don't. There's go bet it at the horse track. You might as well. You should. I wouldn't be telling them to do that, and I wouldn't be telling them to do this. Neither one. And so it comes off a little bit. Yeah, there are people that shouldn't be buying it or can't afford it or looking for their next meal.
I don't want to hear no talk about poor in the chat. I don't let poor people in my chat. All right, so the one change up this year, and we got some sleeves by the ready.
Oh, we take
only one mem card. As my washer goes off.
Coming right here.
One auto, one mem card, and then obviously some numbered stuff. Yeah, I don't allow poor people in my chats. This isn't Professor Sports Card channel.
So I know but that's how, he's just throwing a jab, throwing a dig as much as he can. I don't know. I didn't know. Someone sent me this. Thank you to the community. But yeah, I mean, why take the dig? But just so you know, the chat is far from poor. They're just bright. They just have a brain. That's all. They just know better. All right. Number 2 gripe. He was on this segment of the live did very well, and it was really well put together, and I got really good feedback off it. And Neo chirping in the chats the whole time of you forgot your live, talk to the chat, and I'll take a note of that. He's not wrong, but you can only do so many things at once. And so anyways, getting chat all derailed, and that's fine. I love Neo. I think it's awesome Neo's in the, do I love Neo? Let me rephrase that. I love that Neo's in the chat. Neo we've converted him a bit. That's what I think. And then this is the big one, which we're going to get into. And then I did a deep dive. Professional needs engagement. Needs the engagement. Let him cook. All right. Doubling down on Charles for views. And by the way, I don't need the engagement. If we're going to look, Neo, I know. Neo, I hope you of all people look at my next segment and really break it down logically. Because I have far more engagement on my tiny channel of 8,000 subscribers than some of these people have with 400,000 subscribers. Far more engagement. I'm creative. I think outside the box. I look at it for what it is. And most of them can't be that way because they're in business. Business is business. I'm not. I'm going to tell you how it is. And you could agree or disagree, but the numbers I'm going to show you don't lie. The numbers I'm going to show. And so what one of my beefs with you is I cooked Charles 2 weeks ago, just chopped him down. And then you wanted to come back on, make sure you got yours in. But Neo, here's my comment to you then. Start calling out King of the Cards for buying all his views or subscribers. Start calling out the rest when I show you these numbers and how ridiculous they are. These numbers are case closed. When you see the numbers I'm going to show you, you're going to see a lot of the people in the space, far bigger than Charles, with far much more clout, are also doing the same damn thing. And it pisses me off more than anything. Because, Neil, you also said, nothing makes you madder than someone buying views. And that's what they're all doing. And finally, Frank asked Neo to bring it for the collision. Neo's man, I know Neo's going to be great in the collision. Don't you worry. We'll get it out of Neo. But he was like, So now I get to prove a point where Neo and others that none of these channels are as big as they want you to think. I've thought this for years. I made a video on it 6 months ago, and I'm probably not wrong. These are my views, and I'm speculating. But as I've said before, I'm probably not too far off. The same thing is with the sports card market. This is just metrics we can actually see ourselves. So I'm looking forward to diving into this right now. So let's do it. We'll get rid of that one. Okay, let's start here. Let's start with the Neo video. Neo got by the way, I'll share it for later. The Scotty B news I'll share for a little bit. It's juicy news. 11,000 views with 564 comments. All we're going to do is be smarter than the average bear and look at engagement and comments. So on an 11,000 view video, he got 564 comments. And you'll see they vary. Not every 11,000 video will do that well. Maybe 11,000 will get 150, 200. But the numbers I'm going to show you are I don't want to use that. They're case closed. If you don't buy into what I'm saying this time, we just don't look at numbers. We don't trust numbers. All right. So 11,000, you got to remember these 564 comments right there. So now we move on. We move on to one of my videos. Recently, I did the Fanatics and whatnot being sued for illegal gambling. Got almost 7,000 views and it has 294 comments. Okay, so you can see there's variance. They're not always, but still almost 300 comments on a 7,000 views. Now let's take a look at a King of the Cards video. And I have more. I got Jeff up there. I got Card Collector 2. I got many. I got your boy Eric Michael. He's the worst, as you'll see. And it tells a big story. All right, this is not wrong. So let's look at all of a sudden, this guy has 250,000 subscribers. I thought he was only an Instagram guy. I had no idea. Fugazi.
People are watching our
video. 95,000 views. 162 motherfucking comments. Case closed. Come at me. Tell me what it is. 95,000 views, and he has 162 comments. Oh, the other video is just more engaging. Oh, it's controversy. $250,000 sports car deals, and his video was controversial enough for people to click on it 95,000 times, yet only have 162 comments. They think we're stupid, and most of us aren't going to take the time to do the deep dive. And I'm going to show you more. That I'm going to hammer a point here because it's true. And you know what? The people sponsoring or putting this up, it's good for the business of cards. So even if they know it's Fugazi, it's still their best chance at hitting home. It's their media. It's not their outlet. But I'm not wrong when I show you a 95,000 views 2 weeks ago and 162 comments. Yet my video with 7,000 views, not even a tenth, has double the comments. And Neo's video, 11,000, has almost 600 comments. Let's go to another one because we're not done. Oh wait, I want to go more King of the Cards. Let's see. I haven't looked at all the videos. I want to see another one. Another big one, 81,000 views 2 months ago. I almost guarantee under 200 comments. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. 113 comments, 81,000 views. So Charles, when you see me get upset, or Neo, when you supposedly get upset, maybe it's fake outrage. This is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. Those are not really 81,000 views. And I go on a limb to say those are not really he didn't get his 249,000 subscribers the same way I busted my ass over the past 4 years to get my 8,000 subscribers. And this is what's being fed to everyone to sell the dream. And I'm not wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I can't prove it, but the numbers say a lot. Here's so 5 months ago, F it, I'll say it, they're buying views. Here's your boy baseball card investor, collector, investor, dealer, Chris Sewell, Monday night. What are we calling it? The Hobby Collision. Great name. 14,000 views, 265 comments. So there is variance. But to get 100 comments on 90,000 views is telling. That's all it is. It's if you have a brain in there and you're watching and you doesn't make you really not just think twice, but really start to come over to my side of things. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. So I had more here. I just want to skip around because the reason I showed the Chris Sewell video of 265 comments is we could look next door at your boy Card Collector 2 with 31,000 views, almost 2.5 times the views, yet he only has 80 comments. And you want to say, oh, it's a controversy thing. Chris Sewell has no controversy. There ain't nothing clickbait about anything Chris Sewell does. $93,000 views, 369 comments. When my video of 7,000 views or Neo's video of 11,000 views has more comments than this video with supposedly 93,000 views. And again, a humongous clickbait title, How I Lost 6,000th the National. Don't do this. $15,000 blind grading reveal PSA, 107,000 views, 172 comments. He's not as big. None of them at this size are as big as you think. You drank the juice. They were never this big. Ever. But it is also the best way for a manufacturer like Panini or Fanatics. These are the guys doing the work. And so even if they know it's a little bit of funny numbers, which I don't know if they know or not, and I can't prove, we're just looking at numbers, and based off me being logical and looking at numbers, here's Junk Wax Hero. He has 5,000 views, less than 5,000 views, 143 comments. Yet Jeff's video with 107,000 views, 21x the amount of views, 21x. And it has 172 comments to 143, basically the same amount of comments. Am I flawed in my thinking? This video has over 500,000 views from 4 years ago. No, oh, it's been out 4 years. More people watched it. No. Hello, no. 567,000 views with 472 comments. We could go look at mine with 7,000 views, 294, and we could look at Neil's with 11,000. Has it beat? This video did not organically get 500,000 views. The wheel right off the bat too. It did not get, I'm going to say it again, I'm a firm believer based off the numbers and based off the engagement on YouTube, that these videos were never as big as you were made to as it's made to seem. And you know what? It gives them authority, it gives them clout, it's gotten them sponsorships, it's got them deals, and it's got some of these guys as what they're doing on the whole. I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. And it's interesting that 20 minutes in, 122 people. That's amazing. I expect the room will grow. This is the big one here. We have few callers, several callers. Going to talk about that 101 card. I think, I know Dan's vintage. I think Dan, the card man's going to call in at some point. He hit me up. But I'm just showing you that the engagement is, so Neo's trolling again. Let Professor cook. He needs the engagement. No, bro, I'm just the only guy putting in work and looking at things how they should be and not being a sheep and manipulated. That's all. And that's why there's people here. Keep throwing your jabs. Keep thinking I'm a conspiracy theorist. I'm not. When I made the video 6 months ago, I wasn't, and I'm not now. Here's your boy Card Collector 2. 250,000 views. With 400 measly comments. Not 20,000 views. Fine, okay, there's variance. Maybe on 20,000 views, he'll hit the 409 comments. But how about 250,000 views? The discrepancy between Neo and what you do and what I do, Neo, is not that different from their target audience. You think because they have a big flawless box there or because they're opening product, that's why it gets views. I think they're probably paying for advertisements. And the engagement is on my side and not yours. This is what a 100,000 view video gets 658 comments. All organic. So there's variance. Maybe we'd expect more. 110,000 views, 658. You call me out. And that's all straight up. But how about on 250,000? So more than 2.5x, it has 400 measly comments. His video has 250,000 views on this, on a box of cards. I call no way. And here are the biggest offenders. Here are the ones where, okay, if you don't buy those, these guys are just, it all trickles down. Hey, if everyone else is doing it, if they're making it work, I'll make it work. So Roth Cards, 108,000 views, 59 comments, case closed. And you know what? I see Gio in the comment section there. Gio's not buying views. We don't know his numbers on the podcast. He could tell us what they are. He could say this, he could say that. But he ain't buying YouTube views. He's not on the list. But all your competition, Gio, they don't have a problem with it. 108,000 views. Something Neo and myself, we would be on a cloud 9 if one of our videos got 100,000 views. It has 59 comments. Boy's not as big as he wants you to think he is. And then it makes me wonder why keep doing it? Where there has to be some incentive. These are, he knows those 108,000, 107,000 of them, 102,000 of them are not necessarily earned. And again, Neil wanted to come on and push Charles so hard. Neil, you have a content channel. Neil, you're a smart guy. I'm not wrong. So meanwhile, while Jeff was blowing up, you had to do it the real way. You had to earn your 20-something thousand subscribers, where these guys didn't. And then, I try not to even put this guy up here because nobody knows who he is and he's the worst. This has 5,000 views and 12 comments. 12 comments. Now, it's Tuesday night. I know there's some other lives going right now. Maybe that's the reason. I'm going to share that Scotty B info with you right now. I think he's going to be live on another channel saying something. So I have my votes for the YouTube Hall of Fame. Ziggy brought it up. I saw a couple others make one. And so I thought, yeah, it's a fun way. And my first person on the list was Scotty B. And I like Scotty B's content. Eric Michael is a joke, and he had 12 comments on 5,000 views, and everything I just showed you is not, I'm not wrong. I know YouTube. I know how it works. Neo wants to come up here and make Charles feel like an idiot. Well, guess what, man? He's just taking notes from all the leaders in the space that I don't hear Neo calling out. And look out, maybe Neo will do a big video on it. Maybe, and that's I want to, before I show my YouTube Hall of Fame, I want to make another statement. I'm glad that the community we have here, very glad, and I'm glad my small presence in this YouTube hobby space. Where the hell do I want to go with that? But what my mission statement is to see better, more honest, more real content. Better, honest, real. And I do think that coming live for the last 6 months has helped change some of it, has helped pushed it a little in our direction versus all the money and shill. So if I see Dan the Cardman or Neo actually produce a good video that does well, that talks real, bro, I don't have an ounce of, I'm happy about it. But let's be real. Those guys did not earn it like you or me. It's that easy. And you got that outraged about Charles. So where's the outrage on King of the Cards or Eric Michael or Card Collector 2 or any of the faces I just showed you? And we could dig deeper. You could say it's one video. I showed you a 250,000 view. I could show you a 20,000 view video from Card Collector 2, and the engagement's not there for those type of views, for those type of numbers, for that type of community, supposedly. My votes for the YouTube Hall of Fame. Scotty B has taken a job. I did, Orlando. Scotty B has taken a job. And he's on a live. I will check into their live real quick. Let's check into the live. Let's see if it's going and where we're at. Scotty B has taken a job. He now works for Jeff effing Wilson. And he's going to announce it tonight on the live. And he said if it was fine if I said it. So our sweet, innocent Scotty B, no more. Where are we in this thing? 189. Oh my God. 189 watching, 57,000 subscribers. Oh, are we not live yet? Is that why? Wait. Can we get live? No, they're live. God, I wish our numbers hit over 200. We have 120 right now. It's maybe, I don't know what else is live, but on this live here, they're going to announce Scotty B. It is good for Collector MD Matt, so they can get away with it. It is good, but it's a bummer. That's all. It's not, I don't even think it's content related. I think it's more, he had a different job and this relates to the other job, but I'll let him explain. But it's a bit of a bummer he joins. I told him it's a smart move by Jeff. Jeff made a good hire, but it's disappointing to see him turn that way. All right, enough of that. So I show the views. Let's do the YouTube Hall of Fame. It's already 27, so we got a few callers calling in here shortly. It's a bummer. It's a bummer to hear. I'm disappointed. Okay, my first vote. And I guess I'll have to make a video on this for it to be official. So I'll think of this who's replacing Scotty. First vote goes to Midlife Greg. Midlife Cards, he's come on. He makes good content. He really, he's an actual card person and a fellow teacher. So that's my first. I'm going to run through this quick. His buddy, his tag team partner, Junk Wax Hero, also makes solid content. Let's give him a nudge into the YouTube Hall of Fame. Third is Simon 466 Cards. I bet you, buddy, or maybe I'm buddy. What am I calling him, buddy? I bet he doesn't get many votes. So I'm happy to be the one to vote for Simon here because he doesn't get a lot of views. He doesn't have a ton of subscribers, but he sees through it all. He sees the game. Next up is Philly Baseball Cards. I thought he's made I think he's been along 3 years. I guess I'll have to double check that, but I think he makes really good content, or, some of it's hit and miss, but when he hits, he hits a home run when it's a home run. Clemente Collector, who came on here, I think he's with CIA Auctions. He's vintage guy. So we'll give him some love. John Sports Cards. I don't know if he's watching or here, but, again, not a ton of views. He's called me out. He's thrown me under the bus a few times. That's all right, John. Or he's questioned, he could ask this question, in an interview, he could have done this, could have done that. I still think, this 10-minute segment of views, I'm not wrong. If you just tuned in and missed the whole view segment, I'm not wrong. To engagement, I'm just not wrong. John, it's a shame that they're not as big as you think. Maybe not the card market either. There's Michael Hambone right there. Unique content. He puts time into going to the show, showing you the cards. So there's Michael Ham. Dan the Card Man, come on now. One of the only in the space talking for real there, or, you know, really passionate about it. And then my final vote, and I'm going to guess this guy gets in. I don't know how voters vote, but baseball card collector, investor, dealer will be my final vote. So I need to think of one more guy to throw up there, and I will. But, you know, Scotty B going to the dark side. Maybe I'll throw Scotty B anyways, but I got to think about it because it bummed me out when I heard that. What else? So, all right, we did the views. I don't even want to get rid of it. It's so glorious to me. Oh, we didn't even change. Oh, this one makes me sad. This one makes me sad. Hold up. Sorry, I almost shed a tear. This one does make me sad, though, because I think for the most part, everyone views Ty Wilson and Chasing Cardboard as, you know, something different. They're putting in a lot of time, production value. And then you look at the comment section, 64,000 views, 64,000. I didn't say 6,000, 64,000 views for 300 comments. And you go do your own research, go check channels and what their engagement is to comments. And with 64,000 views, again, I could just point to Neo's 11,000 that has 564 views, or I have a 7,000 view video just a few days ago that has 294 comments. 6.8 thousand. His video has nearly 10x the amount of views and just roughly the same comments with 10 times the amount of views. So it makes you wonder, what's the incentive? How long do they go? How long they've kept it on this long? So why stop now? And maybe the incentive is from above. You know, I don't know, but why this clearly is. It's just not an organic 64,000 views, in my opinion, based off other card content, looking just at card. You don't have to look at other niches. We could just do card content, and the amount of views, the amount of comments, everyone we looked at, just, it's a bummer that he's on the same list as some of those others. Speaking of which, we saw him open loaded product. And in the Frank made these. Thank you, Frank. I gotta read these. Why influencers just keep hitting big on camera? I've never, this is what, Affab Man. I've never understood why Topps thinks seeing the biggest chase cards being pulled before Normal Forks even gets their hands on it would make someone want to buy the product. Of course, well, here's the thing. I mean, if they pull nothing, it's a big dud. It sells absolutely. It's no excitement. There's no sale. There's no reason to buy it if on camera someone's like, okay, all right, that was, you know. But when you have some excitement, even if there's a pull, that's why it is good for camera. It is much better than seeing a dud. It's like I mean, you just don't want it. They know where the big card is. Everyone, you don't have a license to print money and not keep track of the largest bills. All right, the funniest one was Mike Rubin and Dana White had a box battle of UFC Midnight. Even Dana White clowned Rubin on tape over how bad his box was rigged with great cards. So, I mean, it's just what's going on. It's what's happening in the hobby. Anything else there I wanted to get to right now? We'll keep moving. I think Hardcore Collector wants to talk about this, and I have not watched it yet. So Dan the Card Man mentioned, I watched a little, this, you know, just to get the gist of the story, but Whatnot Breaker Still's 1 of 1 from giveaway. I just want to update myself, update you, and then maybe I'll give a few takes, or Hardcore Collector will call in. He had a couple takes he wanted to mention because it reminds him of when he got shammed. And I noticed the room's getting a little bigger. I mean, you really missed. I'm going to hammer it. I mean, you missed these guys' views are not real. King of the Cards, 81,000 views, 113 comments. It even makes me question the only people I like, people that like him. Oh, I like his backstory. I like his story because he's so opposite of what you would think Jeff Wilson, right? He's the exact opposite. But maybe that story, I don't know. If these numbers are so fugazi and not organic, it makes me question all of it. 264,000, 250,000 subscribers, my ass. Nope. Nah, it ain't that big, Neo. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. It's just not that big of a space. There is not that much difference in the person that wants to watch your content and my content than wants to watch their content. It's just theirs gets pumped and seen more. And ooh, this is the hobby. This is what it is. 113 comments, 81,000 views. Unreal. Unreal. If you don't know about the 101 being stolen, I guess a hardcore collector, we go over it. From what I understand, a breaker, I think overseas, not here, pulls this big 101 and then deletes everything. He doesn't give the card away, and he deletes all his accounts. And is that sound about? That's kind of what I got the gist of.
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty frustrated watching this just because, you know, another person getting taken advantage of by, you know, whatnot, and some of these scam breakers is what I'm calling them. But for me, I guess there's three main points as far as like whatnot and their policy that, like, you know, when I was talking about my situation, that really fired me up. So, you know, this situation is a little bit different because it's, you know, a giveaway and not like someone buying into a break. But the key thing, if you look up Whatnot's policy, I highlighted a couple things here. So in their policy for giveaways, it says that the seller will be held responsible for unfilled giveaways, and in some cases, maybe billed back for the estimated value of the giveaway. So, like, you know, if it's a $5, even $100 giveaway, I mean, that's not a big thing, but like, how is a seller going to be billed for a $20,000 card or something?
I have to stop you. Neo, you're still going to stay in that route. I just showed you numbers. 81,000 comments or views to 113 comments. You could look at the overarching YouTube, but let's just look at sports card content. Go look at card content, and why are their views way higher and their comments way lower? And I don't understand why you're so hard in that camp. That's kind of fishy and odd. But the numbers I just showed, you're a logical guy. I mean, you like strategy games and things like this. Everything I presented is very valid, and it presents itself. And sorry to cut you off, hardcore, but I mean, I can't believe Neo's still gonna go on that corner. But you know, that's great for Monday. Anyway, sorry to the whatnot and their terrible terms of service.
Sorry, I was trying to turn on my volume.
No, it's my bad.
No worries.
Yeah.
All right. So anyways, so like, you know, the giveaway policy, it's really a bogus giveaway policy saying like, you know, that the seller may have to be billed or something like that. But what happens if, you know, there's a lot of question marks on just the giveaway portion? Like, you know, how are they going to be billed? You know, like, should some of these sellers have like a certain amount they have to deposit into whatnot in case they scam like somebody, you know? And if it's a big, like a big dollar amount, I mean, is there something that could be done? Maybe like an insurance or something, or I don't know. Like, it's $11.5. It's $11.5 billion company. You're telling me? I mean, the giveaway thing, I'm not going to die on that hill as much as like some of the other stuff. But like the two things I want to hit on as far as whatnot.
I put a lot. You guys are such trolls in the chat, and sorry, the bell curve, Neo. Like I'm an idiot. Like I don't teach math. Go do the research yourself. Go through some chat. Explain Eric Michael 5,000 views to 12 comments, and it's the same ratio that you're seeing with these other ones with 250,000. It's no different. And why do they get 250? It's not a market for that. It's just not that. And no bell curve. You just like Neo, or you're on Neo's little team there. But no, man, go do the research yourself. I'm not wrong. Why was he on Impulsive? Because he has 300 Instagram followers that are probably BS. Why does he have 250,000 YouTube subscribers? I never knew he had a YouTube channel, and I do this for a living. Come on, get out. It's not real. It's not real. Go do it's easy to sit there. Okay, yeah, Neo. Go do the research yourself. Talk to me later. All right. I spent hours on it. It's not a 5-minute conclusion. Hours upon hours. All right. I'm over it. I'm done with it. Hardcore. Hey, I'm stopping. Stone Cold.
To your point, you put a lot of work into this, right? And so, like, I think anybody that puts a lot of work into something, like, you want to reap from what you've sown, right? And when other people are, you know, like a sham artist, I'd be frustrated too, bro. So, like, just keep up.
Well, they're also pushing the hobby. You know what I mean? This is all part of pushing the hobby.
Yeah. Just keep up the good work, man.
Hey, now,
you're better than them. Just remember that. And I'm not floating you. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just saying, like, you're doing it the right way, man. You know what I mean? So we all see the real ones for who they are, and you're a real one.
All right, I'll shut up. I'm gonna let you go. I apologize for interrupting.
All right, I know you got to get going here soon. I'll try to make it quick. But all right, the two main points on Whatnot's policy, like if you buy into a break, I'll try to make this make sense. But on their policy, what they say is, like, if you have an issue with a breaker, you have 30 days from the time of purchase and 14 days from the delivery date to issue something or to report something to whatnot. But here's why this is important. If you get led along of a breaker, like 14 days and 30 days seems like a lot of time, but it's actually not, because the breaker might take, 5 days maybe to ship the thing. It's supposed to be sooner than that, and then travel time. So you could burn easily a week to a week and a half just waiting to get your shipment in. And then the breaker, like what happened to me, it might end up being a situation where they lead you along and they're like, well, like, let's keep looking and let's keep looking. And in my opinion, I think why the breaker that scammed me out of my card, I think he did that so then that way I would fall out of that 14-day report period. So it's like 14 days and 30 days. So that's like one of the things to keep in mind, and maybe that's not like the die on the hill one, but here's the main one that I want people to understand about. Like if you buy a break and what's called like their high dollar policy or whatever, like if you don't get a card or something, here's what it says: for fulfillment failures of high terms, sellers may be responsible for reimbursement the buyer the full market value of the missing high value item or items. In some cases, the amount may be sufficient higher than the purchase price of the items. The market value will be determined by whatnot based on comparable sales, reputable pricing sources, industry data, and other relevant information. So like, I don't really want to make this about me, but it does frustrate me because like this is the kind of thing like when I was trying to warn people about whatnot and how you could get scammed by scam breakers, obviously mine wasn't like, a giveaway and it wasn't a one-on-one, but if someone like gets screwed over by one of these breakers on whatnot, their policy and their SOPs has nothing to protect the customer. And there are like scammy customers out there that would like, probably try to pull one over or whatever. But I'm just saying, like, you're at the mercy of whatnot to determine what the value of that card is, as well as like on that situation where somebody just goes ghost. Like,
all right, so let's break it down. What is the, just so it's simple in 5 seconds. What's the, and I know, I just want to hear it from you. What is the big issue? What is the main issue at hand?
Whatnot needs to change their policy, and their SOP is very open-ended, in my opinion, on purpose. So then that way they can't be held accountable. They can pass the buck. They need to have a better policy and a better SOP to protect customers. And they also need to have something to where each breaker should have a percentage of whatever revenue that they're selling. They have to put like almost like a bank account. Like if you do say $50,000,
I know, but you're not. I know, but you didn't make it so simple. The main issue here is that their terms of service don't have the customers back.
Exactly. It's very.
Yes,
it's very.
Now, hold on, I'm going to go
vanilla.
back to this BS because Neo can't do math, or he's just quick to decide. But let's do some math. Neo said what 1% was the average on YouTube. Not cool. I can take you down all the card content, and it, their communities are different. But 10% of 81,000 is 8,000 for easy numbers. So that means 1% is 800 comments. Or if you want to go down to your 0.5%, it's 400 comments, which ours do far better engagement and most authentic organic sports card communities do. But Neo and Orlando and anyone so quick to say that I'm wrong, do his math. This isn't even 0.5%. I don't even think it's 0.25%. So it's not even close to the average of amount of comments that he should have. And he's supposed to be the hot guy right now. He just went on Impulsive. He's at the Super Bowl Fanatics Super Bowl party. This is not even 0.5%. Oh, bell curve. Oh, this. You do the math. You're just judging and being quick. And then Neo, you have clout. And people, your little minions in the chat, they're going to follow what you say. And now it makes me question Neo because you're too quick to say I'm wrong. Do the math right there. 10% is 8,100. So 1% would be 810 comments. 0.5%, which is on the very low end, because you said 0.5% to 1.5% would be 405 comments. And it's 1/4 of that. So now where are all of you in the chat wanting to use math against me? Go do the math on all of them. You pointed it out. That's not even 0.5%. And it's not even close to what you and me get on videos under 10,000 views. So I don't understand why in the hell you're supporting that side. All right, let's throw.
So I tried my best to be calm and collected, but I gotta wrap this thing up. Well, actually, I'd be curious to hear Dan. Shout out to you, Dan. Hopefully, you're doing good. Hear his opinion. But like, I get really frustrated. I'm gonna try not to lose my ish right now. I get really frustrated because like I tried to share my experience with other people, and I'm not saying I'm the best person or whatever. I'm not like saying people should even use whatnot. But this is an $11.5 billion company. You're telling me they can't change their fucking SOPs, dude? You're telling me they can't do something to protect people that are spending thousands of dollars? You're telling me they can't set aside a certain amount of money at $11.5 billion that if somebody gets screwed over, they're going to get fair compensation instead of this word garbage. And I know they don't care.
Hey, Dan called me blasphemous. Dan texted me, all right?
I'm sorry, Dan. Go ahead, bud.
Did I text you?
Yeah, always saying I'm on your nuts, but no, Dan hit me up and asked what time he wanted to call in.
Oh, sorry, no, because I was asking the chat if I could join early because I had something on that worked out.
Of course, but I also don't want. Hardcore is annoyed by the terms of service, and as you should be, you're not wrong.
No,
and we're allowed to think differently.
I just don't want people to get burned. I don't want people to get burned like me.
The thing is,
mine was a low dollar card.
No, I get it, right? They need to fix it. I think the suggestion you made is actually a pretty good one, that, breakers need to start putting some money in the pot, sellers need to start putting some money in the pot, and then if things come to light, they're going to have to, lose out on that money. I think that's the only way you're going to fix it, to be honest, but then at the same time, I don't know if you're going to get enough noise to actually get it done. And you're right, Neo. I could see in the chat he said I should never shave. I was shaving this morning.
Oh, you look sharp. Neo's a troll. Don't listen to Neo.
I don't like it. I was shaving and the clipper fell off halfway through, so I had to go all the way down to skin.
Oh, we've all been there.
Yeah. But anyway, no, I definitely agree. Like, that's one thing that Whatnot could do that would fix it. And I think it's something that every live selling platform should do, to be perfectly honest with you. Because there's no way, like, people in my comments at the last video talking about this stolen one of one, right? We're saying, well, just make every breaker pay 50 grand before they can go ahead and start selling. But that's not going to happen, right? Because Whatnot, their whole business model is by you, the person, being able to pick up your phone and start selling things. That's not going to be there for the everyday collector. So the only way you can really fix it is something like you said. Maybe they hold your funds for a certain number of days, but then you need to think about, does that then expose Whatnot to some kind of banking regulation? Like, because they're going to be holding money, does that expose them to additional regulation? So
what if it's a percentage of total sales? What if it's a percentage of total sales?
Well, they'd still have to hold the money, right? So I'm curious seeing what that means for them.
Until it's legally obligated, they're not going to do it.
Yeah. So, like, if they go listed, right, they'll have to fix all this shit from the get go, because they'll be subject to, basically a SOX audit. They'll have to have all these
policies and procedures in place. Poor Rhonda. Yeah. Chat is rough tonight. And hey, people, they come on and they get 10% of chat is against my views and they're hating on me, and that's Neil's got his little minions, but. I did the math in front of you. We could go over all his videos. They're all the same. I know. It was a big point for me, and I still can't believe people are like, can't see past it.
It makes sense, right? You need to look at the sports card hobby on its own and look what the trends are there. The only thing I would say for these channels that have vloggers and stuff like that, like, I'm not sure what Card Collector 2's comment ratio was like, or maybe Roth Cards and things like that, but are people that are watching that actually engaging in the comments? Like, maybe you need to look at those ones in isolation.
I know, but 95,000 views, 100.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, the Roth cards.
There's no doubt in my mind this guy's buying views.
108,000 views, 59 comments.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Case closed.
Yeah, it's painfully obvious, in my opinion. Even like 600 likes, that's nothing.
Yeah, it's insane. Dan, what made you want to call? I know you did the 101 video, which... And then I think you said a second one got stolen. Idiot. No, I think you said
it was missing, right? So he hit a 1-of-1 F1 card for a person in his break, and he was taking offers. He basically took it on consignment for that customer, and the community was unsure whether or not the customer actually got that card, because the guy deleted all his social media, right? He deleted his business website, everything. So there was some concern around whether the collector got that card.
How expensive was this card?
The F1 card?
Yeah, the 101 he took, or whatever.
The one he stole. Apparently, it sold apparently for 54,000 euros in the last couple of days.
That's a lot of money.
That's the product hit, fundamentally. That's the prospect that you want in that product.
And so he just took it for himself.
Yeah, super shady. Like the fact. The other thing around what you're saying earlier, Hardcore, about their policies. He did the giveaway, right? But he didn't officially do the giveaway. He opened the box first. and then was going to do the giveaway, if that makes sense. So, in the comments I was talking about, like, that was like a very calculated move on his part. It seems
the
like.
room's gonna be big. Hold up, I forgot. I mean, Dan Vintage is here, and I invited Dan. So Dan, are you okay if we go a little late with you?
Yeah, no. I'm happy to be in here with Dan because Dan and I had a little exchange on private Instagram this week that was we'll keep between ourselves. But
hey, now
I'm interested to hear.
Oh my god.
Hold up, Gio made an appearance. I had to.
Hey.
Gio, what made you call in? Didn't see that coming.
Really quick.
I get trash about putting you on.
Oh,
By the way, I think the people that hate me the most, the only hate I get in the hobby is from having your ass on. Just so you know that.
Just so you know, we talked about this a year ago, Professor, when I taught you how to use StreamYard. I told you, and you already knew this, but we talked about this. I said, watch what happens over the next year. Because remember, I don't know if you remember this conversation. It's one of the first times we spoke. I said, hey, advertisers are changing how they view your content. Like there's a very finite like numbers that they look at now. And I told you some of our advertisers were upset about the Facebook group and different things because it was a page on a group. And I said the way these guys spend money now, they really dig in, and you're gonna see a lot of these big brands.
Why is the engagement so bad? People watch 30 seconds and leave.
I'm agreeing with your point. I told you back then, though. I said, dude, watch all these big guys, and I named the guys you're talking about. They're going to lose sponsorship.
Hey, now,
because now that people have dug into
you think
views,
that's going to happen. You think that's
it has happened. Look over the past year. All these guys run affiliate codes now. I told you this last year, when you thought I was making it up. Nobody makes money. Real money doing content. They just don't. These sponsorship deals that everybody
Chris
thinks
people
people
said it the best. Chris on an interview, and Neil, I'll throw you on the sec. Chris said, it's just good for business.
Correct.
It keeps your name out there, keeps eyes.
Absolutely.
It's good for their business.
Makes money on his views. But like I said a year ago, it's been the same for now. It's been the same forever. There are no people making content who make real money in the space of views or sponsorship deals. Jeff did for a while. That has fallen off in a huge way. Card Collector 2 for a while. Done. Kyle doesn't have any sponsors that I know of. Not like I know you think like these guys have clout, and again, it's fake clout.
Well, it makes people, when you have that, it just other people that don't know, they take it as more of an authority thing.
Correct. But nobody takes them serious now. And however, the only part you're wrong about is the engagement numbers you're right about. But I will say, we've dug into this a little bit too. If you go back through, you also engage with your chat. When people comment on your videos,
250. I'm just going to go king of the cards. 250,000 subscribers.
Bot views, no question. But I'm saying you are also very good about responding to your comments.
But Neo's, I'm just looking at others. Chris, I'll look at Junk Wax Hero. I make
sure very good.
Use
you guys are responsible.
They're giving away stuff. They should have a community too, but it shows it's not there.
Correct. I agree. I'm just mean you guys are to be commended because you guys go back and comment with the people making comments. That's probably 20 to 30% of the comments made are by you. Great. It should be. Those other guys' channels, though, they have never engaged with their audience. They do not do lives.
Because their audience is fake from the get-go, right? That was
finally.
The only pushback I will give you is, and I don't like Jeff. Jeff's audience is not entirely fake because he is the most recognized guy in person as well.
Not entirely, but people don't stay. People might find it, but if you're really in
you're not staying for that.
No,
100%. I
believe in Joe Head.
Sorry, I had to.
No, but I mean that is the point. By the way, like there's a reason people don't spend money with these guys. It's not real. And you know what? By the way, there's a reason we have all the idiots in the chat. There's a reason we have a massive Arena Club deal, and they pay us a ton of money because we get great views. Not on YouTube. I don't care. There's a reason we get the checks. You fools.
Oh, they're paying everybody money.
No, they're not. No, they are not. Again, incorrect. They give people affiliate deals. They do not pay that many people. That's a myth. As negative as you are, and you're usually correct, you need to be more pessimistic about the money.
All right.
These guys are not making money. Stop.
I got to ask Neo, because Neo, so how about just on King of the Cards? Let's forget all the rest. Am I on to anything there? Did I crack you a little bit or no?
So this is what I came on for, Professor. As Gio is well aware, you go in just full extremes. I agree with you. People are buying views. I disagree with you on how prevalent it is.
I would say all those big channels with 200,000 subscribers plus were not organic, whether now or at some point.
Dan hit the nail on the head, though, by the way. That was from the start. There's a reason those channels were massive to begin with. 8 years ago, you could buy views and nobody thought about it. No one thought twice.
Agree. But I'm even looking at now. And the King of the Cards one, really, he came out of nowhere. It's almost too great of a story. He's got this hobbyist hat, hobbyist jacket. It's beautiful. It's just a beautiful thing.
And I agree with you on that one. That one I am definitely side-eyeing as well. Our difference of opinion here is the extremes of how far we're sitting on.
Like Roth Cards, I showed you 58 comments or something.
You come across that everybody on YouTube.
Not everybody.
Let me finish a sentence.
Sorry.
That everybody above 60,000 subscribers, besides Baseball Collector, Investor, Dealer, is buying views. I come across that some of those people are not.
Okay. That's all I need. That's
our difference of opinion. You want everything to be completely one
Not
way.
everything.
Everything.
I feel like I need to hammer a point. I'm hammering my point, and maybe I do it too, but I feel like everything I showed right there speaks for itself. 12 comments for our guy Eric Michael, who's getting 60 people in his lives. That's all fake. I mean, it's not real. 60 people are not going in his lives. 5,000 views, 12 comments. Tell me, come on. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, what about Trike, by the way? A number of people have asked about your boy Trike. Have you done the comment?
I've asked him face-to-face twice, and he said no. And I would be questioned. He would maybe be on my list, unfortunately.
Really?
Yeah.
But again, you see that dude at a car show. Everybody knows who he is.
The other thing you have to remember as well is they might not be buying views directly. They might be doing like YouTube promotions. And what you can do with that is you can promote your videos in certain countries, which doesn't cost a whole lot of money, and you'll get a lot of views off the back of it.
And that's what I assume. I don't think they're buying views. I think they're doing it the YouTube way. They're just for advertisements and getting it out there.
By the way, though, Dan does the same thing I was talking that you do, Jay. You go to Dan's video, I bet 30 to 40% of the comments are Dan responding, which is great. He responds to every comment.
It'd be 50%, yeah. The only one that I haven't done that for recently is the Pac-Man one, because it had like 1,000 comments left, and it's
sure. But that also is a huge impact on the comment ratio, on the engagement ratio, which I think is good.
Oh, I don't want to do it to Trike. I really don't want to do it.
Oh, you're such a the belly rub. Can't do it to your buddy.
Nah,
I change the subject. I want to ask you guys a question.
Fraud.
Yeah, let's finish on Trike just so I could show and he can hate me. But real quick, and that's not the button. Shit, that's not the button. Give me the right button. This is actually good for the. Okay, just real quick. 186,000 views, 147 comments. I mean, that doesn't track. That doesn't track. That's a bummer.
So Jason, go down real quick. Does he respond to the comments?
Doesn't look like.
So if he did what you and Dan do, and Neo, to your credit,
it's 186,000 views.
I understand. Follow the math, though. If he did that, though, he would have 350 views. Would that be an acceptable amount of views or no?
No, I don't think so.
And that's fine. I'm not disagreeing. I don't care. I'm just curious.
You'd have to see his deeper stats, though. Like how many people are watching.
Oh, it's really. I know. But maybe I just.
The topic of the video.
You can look at engagement, and it's just the comments are terrible. That's really bad.
Jason, the other thing too,
what are people going to go on and comment on a vlog? Oh, great pickup! Like good, you know what I mean?
Oh,
like
if you have 186,000 people, you have people that really enjoy. You're a content creator. If you have 186,000 people watch your video, you have people that are thankful or enjoy you, or they're coming back for you. So. It's just not the right amount of comment. You said 0.5%. I mean, that's not even a half of a percent.
Wait a minute. Scotty signed with Jeff. Did I miss this?
Fuck. Yeah. He called me before the show.
Good for him. Get paid, Scotty. I bet he's making some cash. Good for Scotty, baby. Absolutely.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah, shoot. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay, go.
All right. My question, Gio and anybody else, when you guys hear Jeff talking about box prices are so high and he only targets Panini, do you think that, what's your take on that? Instead of he leaves Topps out of it, as if Topps aren't expensive. He just says something about Panini card prices or box prices being really high and doesn't say shit about Topps. But curious your thoughts on that.
You just answered your own question. He's got there's a reason. By the way, there's a reason we're a little less critical of Topps as well. We're outspoken about some, especially basketball. But yeah, we play the same game. You don't bite the hand that feeds you. We're just as guilty as most people. I'm not giving up a multi-million-dollar business so I can make cool comments on a podcast. Now, Jeff goes to the extreme, though. I don't like that he doesn't say anything. You can push back a little bit. You can. Tops has never once threatened to pull our allocation because we've gone after product. Never, to their credit. And Panini's an easy target. No one has direct with Panini anymore. Go after them all you want. You have nothing to lose.
I know this might be one of your topics, Prof, but you guys' thoughts on that $16 million Logan Paul?
I don't even want to. It's stupid. I don't even.
Prof is in that group, by the way. That's breaking news. Prof's in that.
We got a good group in here. I want to hear what you guys think.
No,
Prof's
it's
money
overdone. Everyone's talking about it. I just think it's such BS. It's
I have a pretty original take on it.
Yeah,
I have a pretty original take on it, and we're gonna record the next Cardboard Cynics on Thursday, and it'll probably come out Thursday night, Friday morning. I have a pretty original take on it, and I think I'm right on with it.
You want to tease us? Give us a tease.
I'm not going to give it up.
Ooh, okay.
I'm not going to give it up because if I give it up, somebody's going to take the idea and run with it. But there's really like a very distinct connection that runs through Shine, Mr. Wonderful, Ken Golden, Logan Paul, and Scaramucci. There is a through line to all of those guys, and you're going to have to tune in on Friday. Carlos's
I believe
channel.
all that. Dan the Carman, it looked like you had something you wanted to say earlier. Did we cut you off?
I think I was going to agree with Neo's point. Like, just the nature of those guys' content, you're probably not getting a whole lot of people that are sitting there. Like, when I watch those guys' stuff, right, it's on my TV. I'm doing random shit.
No, but I don't comment on any videos. I agree. Yeah. I watch YouTube on TV as well, so I'm just not and I've been all that way. It just doesn't equate to all the rest. But we can move on from that subject. I wanted to have Dan Vintage on because So I talked to Mike today. He'll call in again next week. And Mike's big update was, oh, yeah, he's still going forward, still talking. But the main thing he wanted to say was he wants to now have a lawsuit against one breaker. And Gio, sorry, and it's not you. But he wants to have a lawsuit against breaker because it's easier for that whole process than versus how protected and how much legality and terms whatnot has. So I don't know, Dan, what do you make of the whole mess here?
There's a problem with him trying to bring a lawsuit against one breaker, and it's what the legal phrase is called standing. He has to have a loss that is caused by that breaker. It can't be that breaker is breaking the law, because he doesn't have standing to challenge that. So if he wants to bring a lawsuit, he needs to understand that it needs to affect him personally. What he's really better off doing is what he's doing now, which is actually producing evidence for law enforcement. Whether that ends up having something take place or not remains to be seen. But that's really his best avenue.
Is there any? I mean, you mentioned in the text that, like, you don't see it going well. So what is your thought?
I mean, the thing that I don't want to throw water on this. I don't want to poo-poo it, because I think what he's doing is a lot of people actually don't think about doing this, which is producing the evidence, putting together a case, and then going to law enforcement. Law enforcement's like anyone else. They don't want to do the work. If something comes to them, they're gonna maybe at that point take it on because somebody's already done the work for them. But the problem that he's going to come up against is that in the federal system right now, FBI, IRS are being defunded to the point where they're really not taking on new cases. And in the States, you get the same problem. I think one of the things that you can look at in terms of the hobby is the most recent hobby case was in the Southern District. It was a prosecution of a guy named Curcio who was doing who was putting fake cards into slabs.
Yep. Washington, I believe.
No, he ended up getting prosecuted in the Southern District of New York. But if you look at the time frame, his verdict was in January of 2026. The events were between 2022 and 2024. So it takes years for these things to come together. And so I think for Mike to do what he's doing is fantastic, but for him to expect that he's going to have something happen like overnight, it's just not going to be that way. So timing is going to be something that he needs to be patient with. That's all.
Hey, Dan, can I ask you a question?
Oh, hell, I was glad
Sure.
Okay, good.
I don't know much about the lawsuit. I heard about it. Are these breakers, do you know the ones at first it was a multiple breakers. Are they on a platform, or were they just breaking independent on their own website or YouTube or whatever?
My understanding is it's Whatnot breakers. He's recording.
Oh, really?
He told me Whatnot on eBay.
But he's suing the individual breaker, not the platform.
Well, first he wants to serve Whatnot and Fanatics, and I won't get. Okay, I'm not gonna say the other one, but he wants to those two, but he's realizing, I guess, conversations over the weekend is that it's gonna be easier to get a breaker in and have to defend themselves easier than going. Whatnot's going to take months, and he's not stopping, but it's just going to take, once he presents it, they're going to have a lot of legal actions that take a long time.
Like you think that
he's got. I mean, he's thrown the money number out there. Yeah.
Well, Whatnot's worth 11 billion. That's why I was curious. I was interested.
They have more.
The other
money,
problem is finding an attorney who wants to take this on, and that's not something easy to do. Finding an attorney who wants to take on this kind of a project, first of all, who has the time, the money, because there's a lot of money to put up initially, and the resources to take somebody on and Whatnot. I'll bet you they have the best lawyers in the country. It's $1 billion company. They probably have the best lawyers in the country. It's not going to be easy. But again, to take on an individual breaker, he has to have standing to do that, unless he's going to law enforcement and asking them to prosecute individual breakers. I don't know. Again,
which that I doubt. I would doubt that.
I would need to speak to Michael directly to figure out exactly what his plans are. But my initial inclination is that he may not be getting the best legal advice if they think he's supposed to go against one breaker on his own. That doesn't really make much sense to me legally.
I think go ahead.
My question would be about the whole lawsuit. If it works out the way that he's hoping in some fashion, whether it's, like stricter laws or something like that, but like, is it possible that breaking would be considered gambling at some point? And then if that's
his goal. Yeah. That is the whole goal of it all.
Because like where I'm getting at with this is Fanatics owns, or they recently last few years, they bought that, that sports betting, I forget the name of it or whatever, but like they already have kind of an in the gambling atmosphere.
All right, Gio, can I ask Gio a question? And Gio, you don't have to answer, but I'm going to ask. Like he mentioned, Steven from Filthbomb wasn't sure, but he thought maybe in the conversation that all the breakers on Fanatics Live are also listed in that gambling arena, maybe to cover themselves. Do you know about that? Are you listed or you're unsure?
I mean, we could be listed. I've never signed any papers. I mean, I have seller terms directly with Fanatics. Like you have to sign up, when you sign up, which like any platform. I've never signed with what is it, Fanatics Bet? Whatever the name is.
That sounds something like that. Sure.
No, I've never had any affiliation with them. But here's the one thing I will tell you. Even that, proving that it's gambling is going to be, here's the one reason I think that's going to be a tough hill to climb. eBay is a public company that's international, right? eBay's worth, I don't know, $100 billion, whatever their cap is. I don't actually know. eBay has a legal team. I mean, everything we do.
Well, he's not coming after eBay, though.
No, I know, but he's coming after breaking. The fact that eBay has now embraced breaking to a large degree. Now, granted, there's a lot of restrictions there too. You cannot do the repack stuff like other places. Well, that's why I have so much confidence it's not going to go.
The fact that eBay's listed though gives them a lot more leverage than the others though, because they're listed, so they're subject to an audit, right? An external audit. They have to fall under SOX requirements.
Yeah, but I mean, my point though, Dan. Sorry, go ahead.
The reason why that's relevant, though, is because they'd have to have policies and procedures in place to make sure that certain things are monitored. It depends how material things are, right? But they'd be having things in place. So the question mark for these other entities would be whether or not they themselves have those. And when you see these question marks and these mistakes coming up, it looks clearly like they don't have those. So, that's where my commentary has always been around. They need to sort of fix it before that question becomes a reality. Because if it does become a question, they're not going to have the things in place to sort of protect themselves and protect their customers.
Yeah, to your point, like there's no one that's as stringent with their sellers as eBay. You can eBay, hate them or whatever. The fact that they are public, like you deal with actual legal teams. Like it's not a sign up and just start selling. It's very strict on who they let on there, which is a good thing. So yeah, maybe the other guys will step up.
Shout out to Neo for calling in after I kind of went at him, and we were allowed to disagree, of course, but it was fun. And thank you for calling in. I don't know. We have quite a cast here. Where are we going with this? Where are we rolling? Dan the Card Man. I don't know. What made you want to call in tonight?
I was just talking about the whole views thing, to be honest, because I think that's an interesting one to talk about. But yeah, I already shared my thoughts.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I know you wanted to talk about that 101 as well. I don't know, Gio. Any takes? Are you going to steal a 101 card like that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You know what I love is I loved in you guys' video. I got tagged in Dan's and I think I got tagged in yours. I always love anytime a breaker does something, I get the tag. I just sit back and smile, baby. Less competition. There's a reason we've been around 15 years. You've so
I don't
many
understand that to be
clowns.
so. They're just so stupid, though. It never ceases to amaze me, right? You're practically printing money.
Yes.
You're opening cards for a living. Like, what else would you like? There's nothing better you'd want to be doing, right? And you
screw
still
it up?
stuff it up. Yeah. Like,
By the way,
take a $30,000 card. It's ridiculous.
and people think I take it personally. I love it. Good. Like the more trash that gets exposed, the more people come back to breaking companies that aren't scumbags. You don't have to like breaking. I could care less. I don't want the idiots in the chat on my breaks. I have plenty of customers. But the more morons there are, the better I look. It's perfect. I have
less customers now.
Oh, absolutely good. I don't trust me, Dan. These are not the people you want to deal with. I send a base card to one of these morons in the chat. They file chapter 7, whatever these wackos do. It's great though. There are plenty of scumbags. It's always going to be that way.
Gio, you got to we got to do something about Clever Cuban's content.
You don't like the sponsor stuff. You still like his regular
He's doing
stuff,
some
right?
all-star basketball. Oh my god! Like some of it's, I don't know. I don't think it's good for him.
I mean, but again, we've talked about this. You don't think it's good for his image. He's making a ton of money now.
It is NBA.
Well, okay, fair. 4 likes, 7 likes.
Dude, he's quite a bit younger. He's a lot younger than me. He's making a lot of money. Like, good for him.
Well, for now,
just like Scotty B. Like, you're probably going to hate Scotty B's content that he makes with Jeff.
I don't, you know what he said? It's not content related. He used to do work with like signing bigger brands. And I think it has something to do along that line and outside of content, but
sure
doesn't mean we still won't see him over there. But
what is Scotty do for a living?
I got a sports Scotty do for a living,
guys. He did something prior. The most recent was working with the company. I don't remember the name, but it helps. It's hand in hand with YouTube. He kind of worked with the company that helps channels do mass, if you want to change your comment section or if you want to change your description on all he did some analytic thing for a company.
Is he a programming guy or a marketing guy?
No, it wasn't programming. It wasn't programming.
More on the market and exposure side, I think. Because didn't he do like the SEO stuff? Like he was really
prior
good
to that, he was definitely I don't remember the company, but he was hot. He was bringing on clients like CBS, some bigger clients. So he has experience. And maybe Neo. I don't know. Neo, you know what Scotty B does?
I don't know. Sorry, my StreamYard completely crashed. YouTube's being real jacked up.
That's what Petty said. YouTube crashed.
I don't know, but I know that he did really heavy work with back-end YouTube metrics stuff.
That's right. I don't remember the company.
I don't know the specifics.
He told me the
company with him about like SEO optimization, like all that kind of stuff. Like he would be a good one to ask.
But I still think he brought on like the big brands. He would look for the YouTube brand that wanted that service, and he would go out and get the brands. So he was signing and some bigger. I mean, he signed some. I remember CBS. I remember some big ones. So he has. He's not in the coding or SEO part. I think he's more on the side of bringing people to that business. That's what the company does.
I agree, but he understands YouTube backend extremely well.
No doubt. Yeah. Neo, what made you come back?
My shit just crashed, so I just wanted to pop back in just to make sure we were all good. And also, wait, I must say, this is a momentous occasion. Me and Dan Vintage on the same live stream together would be not on most people's bingo cards.
Hey now.
Yeah,
why, is there a little back and forth in the chat?
To have a direct chat to chat, so whatever. I have my issues. We'll talk someday.
Don't we all?
I have a love-hate relationship with each other. We like to drive engagement for each other, shall we say?
I got a good question for all you guys since we got such a good crew here. All right. It's a sports question. Who is the most winningest franchise out of baseball, football, and basketball for championships based on that sports? Like when they started their championships. So for baseball, it'd be the World Series.
Say the Yankees would be my number one guess.
Yankees.
Celtics.
Hold on, let me finish. And then NBA championships and obviously Super Bowl. So
well, Celtics are up there. Yankees have more than the Celtics.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but they've been around longer.
Yankees is up there, but by percentile of how many championships there's been versus
got it.
Versus how long it's been, they're actually not. They're just a hair below the first place.
How about your Patriots?
Patriots, yeah.
Nope, they're not even close. Not
Celtics?
by percentile.
Yeah, Celtics would be the NBA's leader.
It's Celtics.
Of course,
I did the math.
Yeah, what have they won? One in like 40 years or something
against the Lakers, baby.
I just wanted you to know they're the most by championships since that sport started doing their respective trophy, whatever it's called, Super Bowl, World Series, and then NBA championships. It's the Celtics. Believe it or not, it blew my mind. I knew Celtics won a lot, but by percentile. Well, here's the thing for me. I'm not a Yankees fan, but like people be like, Yankees the most winningest franchise. And if you, over 120 something years, they better have like, I forget how many World Series it is, but like if you have anything that's been going on for 40 more years than the other sports, then they better have a bunch more championships. So I don't know. I just thought that was a neat stat that I researched.
All right. Speaking of numbers, the 52 mantle counterfeit spike. Look at this. In 2005, the 52 mantle was submitted 181 times, and 112 were deemed inauthentic. So nothing is as it seems right now. That's my whole, and everything is funny. Any takes on this? That's crazy percentage that are fake.
People just want to get it in a PSA slab. Sometimes they're sending in obvious fakes that they don't know. It's lack of education. It's just sort of desperation. I can't see that it's really relevant because it's like if you got every card that is like a major, what's the number on the Jordans? The Jordan problem is
they just did
20% or something, 24%, I think.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. But this is way higher than that.
Yeah. Well, there's certainly a lot more Jordan. There's a lot more real Jordans out there than there are real mantles too.
I'd be interested to see how many of them is the same mantle that's kept being sent back in. Somebody's like working on the card, trying to fool them.
That is a good
point.
Because obviously there's no way for PSA to track them. But
isn't Pokemon having more? Isn't Pokemon having more like counterfeit cards than any other like sports or era right now?
I'd assume they have a lot. Neo might know best, but for sure they have a lot.
I would imagine they would have a lot just based off the numbers of submissions of TCG that they're getting compared to everything else. So it would whether it's actually like higher or not, if you're just going off of percentages, they're getting way more Pokemon than anything else combined. So of course it's going to be high.
Yeah, the volume's higher. There's more Pokemon collectors than there are sports card collectors. So naturally it makes sense.
And they're also like sports card. These Pokemon people, a lot of them are younger. A lot of them are newer to everything. I also think there's just a higher percentage of kids can tell, but it's also hard to tell. And you see it shows way more often fakes. Maybe we just don't know what we're doing. Here's another issue that I've seen on social media often. This is a huge discount. Temu. This is not Temu, but other ones are Temu. Oh, this one's not Temu either. I thought they all said Temu at some point. But they want you to click this link. Oh yeah, shop Temu right here. $291. I don't know. This isn't a problem. I find it to be a problem. Does fanatics and them just don't care?
Is that legit?
Fake cards being produced?
No, it's not legit. No chance. You go and you get fake cards.
Their team would be looking at it for sure. Like they'd have a team looking into this.
I've seen it on Facebook. I don't know, I've seen this stuff for the last 4 or 5 months. This one just happens to be on Instagram, but I find it to be a problem. And you can see all the custom cards on, and I don't know. It just doesn't seem like they care all that much about copyright or the the tomfoolery.
Well, it's hard to police when it's happening out of China, right? You can't go after them for copyright over there. We're seeing that time and time again in other industries. That obviously would be looking into it, right?
Those had like 20 and 30 likes. I don't think
No, but they're fed in my. I mean, I don't go looking for them.
That's because you're trying to buy fake cards, mate.
I was gonna say, with your search history, God knows what they're popping up on there for you. I'd be careful.
I'm telling you,
I'd be careful.
They're paying for this stuff, just like your Arena Club 5 months ago. Every time I scrolled, Arena Club.
Hey, remember promo code Prof save 25% of first.
Never.
Giddy up, baby. I got my first one. I've done like 12 or 15 now. I got my first one that was worth more than the actual buy-in. So my percentage.
Can I ask Gio a question? Gio, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
You gave us some good content on the last Cardboard Cynics, and that's when you basically fired Joe on a live stream.
Hey now.
Oh yeah.
Is Joe still working for you guys? Is he?
He was at the Super Bowl party. He went to the Super Bowl party.
No, yeah, they're both still working. But I mean, that was true, Dan. Like I had told those guys leading up, like, hey, the show stinks. I don't have time. I have too much other stuff I'm doing right now. And if we're not going to put effort into it, we're not going to do it. I don't mind that we're not as big as Prof or some of the other guys, but I don't like putting out a lackluster.
So has the light come on in his head yet or no?
Yeah, so he killed it. Like the Super Bowl, for example, he was excellent. That guy
was much better.
He was everywhere. And again, Prof. God, Dan, sorry.
Was it planned?
Did
you literally go on to the live plan?
We made him cry.
They had no idea. But again, that's how it was. I thought I came on because I thought, hey, we're gonna see like a better show. I referenced Jason, and he knows this. I give Jay a lot of credit, a lot of you guys credit because you do it much better than we do. I had told them leading up to it, like, hey, this is we need to do a YouTube style show. So when I logged on that night, I was like, man, nothing's changed. So by the end, I was just fed up. So, but yeah, they're both still. I told them on there, even if we don't do the show anymore, they're still getting paid. Absolutely, yeah, they have contracts.
My question for you, Gio, is: Are you going to name your studio Arena Club?
Did Jeff actually do
If
that?
they pay enough.
He did.
Oh,
he did do that.
Well, we got the Yahoo branding in the studio now. See, and you should be happy, Jay. We got the non-endemic stuff now. We got Harry's Razors. We got Mando Body Control. We got Yahoo Sports. We're making a big push to non-hobby money.
Get away from the gambling stuff, mate.
I don't think we have any
I want to ask you guys.
Actually, you know what? DraftKings might be. I'm not positive.
I was poking fun at Arena Club. I was poking fun at Arena Club.
Hey, Dan the Card Man, 20% off your. There's your code. Perfect. Yep. Aussie. Save 30% on your Arena Club.
I'll actually use it. Unlike others.
We do that chat in class. I say Aussie. They all go oi. So Dan, that's a tribute to you, I guess.
Thank you.
They get 25% off Arena Club after they do that.
Hell no.
Don't give me
there we
ideas,
go.
mate.
No, here's what I want because everyone hears me talk about it, but I want to hear you guys, not me. So let's add this to the stage. This Travis Hunter card, because it's a downtown, it sold for $26,000, $27,000. What are we doing? Like, I know it can't stay propped up like this. Is insane. That's just so I don't understand. Some people are gonna lose money like that. That's just crazy to me.
Jay, you know the most insulting thing I ever heard in my life? Adam Gray was on the show yesterday. The Stefan Castle 1 of 1 flawless shield. You know what it sold for? Sold like 2 weeks ago golden.
I thought I saw something like $60K, but maybe I'm thinking of the other guy on the team.
$77,000. He's not even a number 2 option. Who is that? Dude, that stuff is wild. Absolutely.
It's not. Someone's going to lose money on these cards. I mean, that's just okay. All right.
Well,
any disagreements on that one? Let's get a little riled up.
No, I think we all agree. This is a tale.
That's rare.
The numbers have just gotten bigger. The new hot whatever rookie has always
a lot
been
bigger.
More expensive than it should be.
Not
just the numbers are larger now.
A lot larger, way larger.
Where's the money coming from? Where's the money coming from, and what's the purpose of somebody buying a card like that for $77,000?
That's the same question I want to ask. Why? That's exactly
why.
Are
they subject to capital gains?
Is it money laundering? Somebody laundering money through?
I would have said money laundering.
Money through? Yeah.
Here's my only question though: how has it been? And you could be right. I've always just thought it's guys going out and wanting to gamble. They think, hey, this guy's going to pop off for 3 weeks and it's going to triple. My only thing with the laundering is the money is leaving your account through a platform that tracks it, and you're getting a 1099. So you're not really laundering it. If anything, like it's a write-off. Like if you're saying it's just a write-off, but why would you use this to just dump your money? That's what doesn't make sense.
Is there capital gains in the US on?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Well, no. It's not capital gains on collectibles.
It just seems like someone's going to lose a lot of money on this downtown.
You'd rather pay the government whatever percent they're getting on the capital gains than pay them the entire money when they seize it. It's the buyer and the seller know each other.
Yeah,
and the seller is
taking on the same page, Dan.
Giving it back to the buyer. And they pay whatever they pay, but it's a lot
so
better
Dan,
than losing all.
Hey Dan, just so I understand. So let's say you own the card. You're telling me, hey, go buy this card so I can get money off my books, and you're just going to hand me cash off the books back to me. Is that what you're saying? That's how you're washing it?
The two people are involved in it somehow. I'm not sure what the payoff is, but
there's no real sale, I think, is what you're saying.
But there is a real sale. The money is actually changing accounts. That's why I'm curious how it happens. I'm not denying. I'm just curious.
That's how it becomes. It's a lot easier to do it that way and prove it to be legitimate money than to do it just a hand-to-hand sale at a show. I mean, there's no tracking of that. If you could track the money and say, "Here, look, there's a legitimate sale that happened on eBay. Here's the evidence of it." Yeah, you pay your taxes, whatever, but you don't lose the money. It doesn't get seized.
So the seller is then giving money back to the buyer off the book somehow.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But you also have some of this stuff flow through auction houses too, right? Where people could be buying cards with dirty money or buying cards on the platform and then using the dirty money to sort of pay them off, or the dirty cards to pay it off. Because like, let's say you sold a $100,000 card, or you bought a $100,000 card on Golden, right? You go out and you buy 4 $25,000 cards with dirty money, you get them on there, and then when they sell Golden, take that profit, you get your $100,000 card. Cleaned.
My question is on some of these bigger sales are like, do you think what percentage of athletes do you think might be buying their own card, or like the owner of the Commanders when he bought that big Jaden Daniels card? Do you think there's a good percentage of athletes that like want to buy their one of one rookie card, or like some of these bigger like sales for the modern stuff?
I think a tiny percentage. I think my take is most of the time when you see them on camera, it's because it's an obligation. There might be a couple of them that, like some of these minor league baseball players, that really want their card. But my take is when you see Kevin Durant or James Harden, do they really give a shit about a $50 or $500 card? I don't think they care. They care about women. They care about the nightlife. They don't care about the pack of cards. That's my take. I think a lot of it's obligated. Oh, left him in silence. Me?
Yeah, I was just waiting for the next person to go. I was just
what
curious.
Do you think,
these guys are making like 30-50 million a year, dude. I mean, like,
I know
$20,000 to them is like, that's chump change.
But,
dude.
the
Like
guys that buy their own cards, the guys that are into getting all their, one-on-ones and the rainbow, are the guys that aren't making gazillions of dollars because they want like a record of having been like a professional athlete.
AJ Dillon.
You're talking about, like Kevin Durant doesn't buy his own cards, but like, who's that guy? Pat Sheehan or whatever his name is on the Warriors. There's a guy who would buy his own cards.
I think Giannis.
I don't know.
So I was going to say Giannis is the only big one
done
that
it here and there, but I don't think he's actively involved.
Giannis just steals his own cards.
He
just signs the redemptions and doesn't send it back in. He's not collecting. He just has them at his house.
You just thought they were gifts.
Pat Spencer, that's the guy I'm thinking of.
If I made $50 million a year, like some of these worthless quarterbacks in the NFL, if I had to spend $1 million on a card or something, dude, that's like chump change to me. I mean, I'd probably do it. I mean, I don't know.
I just don't think
so much kind of money that
they're living a bigger life than that. They just are. They're living a bigger life than opening some cards.
By the way, that comment that just got pinned, Jody F. That's a good point. Bobby Witt might be the highest profile athlete that is like really, really into the hobby. Trout, I can't think of a higher profile. Like he's top 5 in a sport.
Trout still does a lot of. I agree with him. It's a lot of it's a top promotion or it's
not Trout.
Promotion.
I'm saying Bobby Witt.
I'm throwing Trout out there because I think Trout's pretty active, isn't he?
He's been out there, yeah. I'm not saying there isn't a percentage that are, but I think it's a lot small. It's a minority.
But I think Bobby Witt is the first, is like the most legit superstar.
I believe that.
Going to, because like my friends have told me he's popped into their LCS.
People could lose money on Bobby Witt still. He's the guy right now. I think he's going to be really good, but we don't know. And shortstop, it's a tough position to make money on.
It does seem like baseball players in general across the board.
Yeah, I agree.
In cards than any other sport.
I agree with that one.
I mean, who's the guy for the Mavericks that always goes to the Dallas card show?
Oh, the old Celtic.
No, he's an active player.
Yeah, he played for the Celtics a couple years ago. Oh, Grant Williams.
Yes. Yeah, he goes to the Dallas card show like all the time, I think.
And the same thing, he's in the Dallas shops. Again, not high profile, but he's a player. Yeah.
All right, bear with me. This is what I'm talking about, Gio.
NBA All-Star Weekend, and to celebrate, eBay Live has some super cool promotions and streams going on that you should be aware of.
My boy.
All the top stars and
it's so bad. It's so bad.
Biggest players in the NBA are headed.
And he's actually has some talent and is doing, what do we turn him into?
Los Angeles. eBay is bringing
somebody who's talking for free.
Is that what you're looking for? It's not with those 7 likes for now. It's really bad.
Absolutely with those likes. Don't worry about that.
And then this guy pretends like he has all the answers. He knows everything. I know you guys got to be respectful and listen. He doesn't know anything. He's a salesman.
He's the one guy I would actually defend that you would never listen to. Yeah, you talked to him off the camera. Now, granted, I think he knows about the whole pump and dump thing, and there's been issues, and he should have been more protective of what he was saying early. But like that dude off camera is a total nerd for cards.
I mean, he's also a total seller. He said, "Oh, we solved the pop count issue because now we have them in different sets." You didn't solve anything. He's pushing a narrative. This Gary V.
Yeah, you got to
games. Everybody's pushing a narrative. I mean,
yeah, my problem too is like how, like what could he do? And again, this is my problem when people criticize Gary and criticize him. Well, he's a Jets fan. I don't care. But my problem is if he really likes cards and he just talks like this, you would say the same thing.
I wish he was more honest. I think some of these guys are just
maybe
so
he's
not
being honest. That's my point. With you, if they're not crapping on stuff, they're not honest. That's the you are not
you don't have
reasonable
to
with
crap.
that.
I am reasonable, very reasonable. I'm in.
You're not
but
reasonable. No,
these
you're
guys
very
know
good,
what he
and you're
says is all
entertaining.
one side. If you say I'm one
That's
side,
not
fine.
true.
That's because he's all the other side.
But if that's the case, you're one side and you're authentic. He's the other side. He's authentic. What's the difference?
He's
This
going to
is my
lose people a lot of
problem.
money. He's selling V friends. I'm not. He has.
I
a
think you're going to
reason
lose
push
people
it.
out of money telling everybody not to buy anything. Like the way you talk about don't collect anything now.
Yeah, go
I
spend
also,
30 grand. Hey, to everyone, go spend 30 grand on that Travis Hunter card.
See,
It's a great
we
buy.
go right to the extreme, like Neo said earlier. Though it's right to the extreme. There's a lot of middle ground there. Yeah.
But the problem is that on your side, on that side, the industry
Mm-hmm.
side, you guys really don't highlight any of the negatives.
We've been
None of
highlighting
the
it for years.
problems.
You're just tone deaf. You don't listen to
When
the
you,
podcast.
when you guys, so all of you guys talk about like terms of service at auction houses. I know I've never heard Gary Vee once talk about terms
we
of
just did
service
it
at
years
auction
before
houses.
you. We dogged on Whatnot years ago.
How about Gary Vee? Not Gary Vee. Gary Vee doesn't know the
See, again, you're
industry that
incorrect.
well. He's
When we had
clueless.
Gary on the show, we called him out for this, and
I
we
was
got
gonna say,
praised.
I know that Gio went at Gary Vee.
Yeah,
pretty
but
hard.
see,
I
you don't
remember that.
acknowledge that because I'm a corporate show, which is fine. I don't mind the title. But if you actually
So what did you
some-
ask him? Because I guaranteed if I listened to it, I don't like his answer. I promise you.
He didn't
I've
answer. He
listened
had
to
no,
him for
he had no
6 years
answer.
on
He,
this.
he had no answer. But we pressed him and said, if you're going to go this bullish into something, when you get quiet, people take that as a sign you don't believe in the product. I think you should come out and warn people, hey, there's a bubble here. Hey, prices are getting too high. And he literally he's like, you're right. I'm dead wrong. I should have come back and done more. He was pretty sympathetic about it.
Yeah, I
But
remember that interview.
But you act like we
V
didn't push
friends is
him.
a cash
We
grab.
did that years before. You were screwing around, teaching arithmetic or whatever you do. We were talking about this years ago.
Oh yeah, getting a degree, screwing around.
You're
The
fake.
guy
I'm
is, but you won't
Gio
even admit
pushing the
there's like
buttons.
he has V friends. He's partnered. He knows these people. Like he has a bias about him, and he's a very charismatic, and
I
a lot of people listen to him way more than me or you. You know,
Correct.
so.
But I also think
Is
he's
Gary,
made a.
is Gary Vee the NFT guy?
He
Sure
was.
yes.
Absolutely.
So
He's
hold
also
on,
the
was
base
that
top
is that
guy.
is that the guy who his like business partner was fucking Ruben, the owner of Fanatics? They went halvesies on it, or Ruben bought like over half of his company, and then Ruben sold.
No, that's
That
Josh,
I don't know. Yeah,
that's
Josh.
Josh
You know with
Luber,
Josh
maybe?
Luber?
Yeah, it is Josh.
I
Luber.
don't remember
know.
his name.
But
Okay.
they're
yeah.
all in a similar, ecosystem there. Hey, I like the fight back on it. That's good. A lot of people love Gary Vee and respect what he has to say, and so I just wish he'd come at it from less of a push and a sales and more as really. There are issues. I'm not saying you don't tackle him, Gio, but someone like him is clueless to them.
I agree. I don't disagree.
All right.
Yeah, because if he came out and came down on some stuff, more people would listen than all 6 of us, our audiences combined. No question. So
I'll put Gio on blast or the spot. So if someone is a lower like budgeted, as far as like the buying cards and stuff, and they
is this
can't,
about you missing a card in a break? Because if it is, I'm just
No,
going to
it's-
refund. Okay, I'm just kidding. Go ahead. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Hey now, comedy.
All right, I'll take it this time. All right. No, but I'm just saying, like, if they don't want to buy a box, they don't want to buy a break. What 2 areas would you recommend? Like more the lower tier collector, or like a budget friendly, or something like a value.
Oh, we're making it this show. Not come on, that's everyone else's show. Stop it, Gio. Give
No,
him one.
I think
give
that's
him one
fair.
little
I mean,
thing. I don't want
My
to.
vintage.
Did you go 90s
Buy
junk wax,
vintage,
or would
that's
you look
right,
at something
Dan.
else, or
You're saying if somebody comes in off the streets, like, hey, I have a small budget, what do I buy? Is that the question?
that, or like maybe some people in the chat that they don't want to buy some of these expensive prices. Is there one way you would direct them, like a something budget
Yeah, I mean,
friendly?
so if you were like, hey, I have a small budget, but I want to rip a product. So just buy retail. Retail is much cheaper than hobby. It's still more expensive.
Buy
than it used to be.
singles. They don't buy singles.
But again, Jay, if somebody says I want to rip packs, I like doing that, then go buy retail. It's cheap. And if somebody says, hey, I want to come in and buy singles,
It's not
then
that
no.
cheap.
Okay, it's $40 a box.
6,
Stop.
I was just there. 40 to 6. The blaster
the series 1 jumbo is
top score
$100.
back. That's insane.
Yeah, but there's
I'm
a
never.
lot of
Yeah,
stuff.
but it is because I'm not gonna hit. It's just. It is not a Topps base should be $150 max. I mean that just.
You're talking about hobby though. You can get blasters and megas for $20 to $30 on a lot of baseball stuff. And again, if somebody
No, on baseball, you're right. I'm a basketball
somebody
player. You're right.
wants
Baseball's
to-
a little more reasonable.
Right, but if somebody wants to just rip, then I would say just start super cheap. Like buy and go into it expecting
I hate
you're
that
gonna
advice.
It's two-sided. Go into it expecting nothing, but you're going to have an experience and you want to have fun. Same way you're going to go spend $40 at the bar, and tomorrow you have nothing tangible from that. If you want to do that, fine. If not, buy singles, Research what you're doing. But you also, again, Jay, you villainize anybody.
No,
who wants
because
to rip.
here I want
Who
to throw a
cares?
point to Neo. I was buying the One Piece boxes and having a great time at 140. And I went to the local card shop and they had the newest product and they were selling it for 275. And it's not even my budget. It's just the return on it. It just doesn't fit. At 140, it was a fun product to open, extremely fun. At 275, it starts to feel less fun. That's all. I mean,
they're ripping you off. Those boxes.
no,
are
I looked online. It was 220, 230. It's legacy. What do you?
I would argue though.
But it's just the price point I don't want to spend. I mean, it's just the 140. I was okay putting the money. The
But a
275.
lot of guys, Jay, a lot of guys want to rip, and they just think, "Hey, I know I'm statistically I'm probably going to lose money, but it's a fun chase, and I get to rip some stuff."
But I would also argue that a lot of new people go that route, and then they're going to move on to something. You know, if you're just ripping boxes that year after year, you must have some money to burn. You know, I mean, it's eventually the smart collector moves from a box into more research, I guess.
I'll be honest with you. I think a lot of the collectors just do both. And in Orlando, it is fun, by the way. See, this is where you and Orlando think alike. You're not wrong. There's just people who think differently. I think it's fun to go rip a box of Pristine for $500 and I may get kicked in the teeth, but I'll find some cards I like. And then tomorrow I may go buy singles.
I just argue, and you call it poor. I argue anyone under $100 grand, you need to be putting that money elsewhere. If you make $100 grand more, fine. But if you're making $100K or less, that money shouldn't be spent on a $500 box or all right.
It also shouldn't, but however, it also shouldn't be spent on a single card then. If you're making $60,000, don't buy a single card either.
Single, but here's my argument. You can buy a $40 card. It's going to retain. I mean, it's normally not going to become $5. You can go buy that. That's fair. You're right.
I'm not joking about buying
That's
vintage.
right. That's right.
But Dan, my pushback my pushback to vintage
I'll
is
show you my card ladder.
Sure,
Every
but Dan,
single vintage card that I
but
bought
Dan,
in the last 5 years is either retained its value or gone up.
Here's what you
Every
missed with
single
vintage,
one of
though.
them.
Right, you're not wrong about the money side. A lot of guys don't care. I just don't have interest in it.
And
Why
that's
would I buy
interesting,
it?
Joe, because we're about the same age. And for me, eventually, I love the history of sports, and so do you. And I know you have that Kareem rookie and some of that other stuff. That's like vintage basketball, you know. And that's beautiful.
But a lot of guys,
that's where you should put your money.
Right, but you're talking about new. We were just talking about a new person coming in with a budget. I think those guys want to come in and be like, hey, I want to buy something that's relevant that I can see.
Okay, so my argument would be go buy that $100 Kevin McHale autograph rookie. Go buy the $100, autograph rookie of some Greg Maddux or some. That would be my, but I also I've learned my lesson on boxes. I
can speak to this.
And that's, by the way, financially though, Jason, what you just said, yes, if you're talking just about return and ROI and like safe investment, absolutely. But again, you totally discount the fact that some guys just want to.
It is fun. It is fun.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying blow your money,
price point, that's
use
a
your
bummer.
mortgage. If guys want to do it, this is where I struggle with people. Like, don't ever rip. Some people have enough money.
I love ripping.
But
It's
because it's out of reach for so many collectors, right? Like you can't.
Agreed.
That's
so
the
don't
problem,
do it.
right?
I understand.
That is Dan. You nailed it. So I've told this story before on Dave and Adams. I don't know. Let's call it 2016, 17, 18. On Black Friday, I could spend $300 and have a day's worth of stuff to open, and it was well worth the product. It was worth. Now $300 doesn't buy you a box on Black Friday. You're lucky to get. So before I'd have a day's full of fun on it, and it would be awesome. Now it's at a point I can't do that. It's that game is gone forever and is it's a bummer. It bums me out that I can't, but and you could say poor, but I don't think that's the case. I just think it's a bad place to put my money. That's all.
It's just out of reach for your average collector. I think it's a huge problem that they need to fix. Tops need to fix that.
And I agree with that, by the way. I actually totally
Gio
agree
or
with
Neo,
that.
how do they fix that?
They don't want to fix it.
Yeah, why would you want to?
Why would they want to fix it?
I'll tell you why they want to fix it, because the collector that actually they're losing out on right now is an annuity for this industry. Like they're the ones that are going to be here long term, and I think if you're not looking after those now, they're not going to be here in 10 years' time.
So can I push back to that?
Yeah, good
Dan,
answer.
can I push back that?
That is a good answer.
I think you'd be 100% right. Maybe us legacy guys are the ones who are going to carry it. My pushback would be, but the 20-year-olds right now like it, and they're going to be the next generation.
But
Yeah, but those 20-year-olds fads come and go.
But they're not watching the sport like they used to. They're not collecting it like they used to.
Maybe that's an assumption. You may be totally right. I don't know. I think they're going where the money is right now, and I think that's what most.
If the money stays, but I just think a lot of it is manipulated. Go ahead, Dan.
They need to be careful on that, right? These businesses need to be very clear in what it is they're doing. That they're going to be comfortable that these people that are the core of their demand right now are going to be here in 10 years' time. Because if they're not,
Can I ask you,
I think
Dan?
that's a great. I agree
Can I
with that point.
built the same question then, because I asked this and I've asked it seriously, and I've never gotten an answer from any influencer or content guy or from Tops. Jay, name a
Now
Tops-
I'm curious. Let's hear
name,
it.
Jay, name a Tops product you think is totally out of whack with price. Just give me one. Don't go on a tirade. Give me one. That's
Well, I'm more football, basketball. So
give me one. Tops.
But just even the Tops Chrome Blaster at $60. That's
Okay, perfect.
I mean, that's
Perfect.
expensive.
Yep, I'm in. No problem. Okay, I'm not even going to argue with you. Tops though, so Tops Chrome basketball came out on the website at $400 for hobby, $700 for jumbos. The same day, as soon as people locked up their investment, they locked up their boxes. I mean, on pre-order, eBay they were selling for 40 to 80% markup. What? And I mean this seriously. I'm not even trying to argue. What should Tops do?
Well, okay. My first question is like, I went to Target and I saw a bunch of those blasters there. So are people still? I feel like that game, at least with retail, I know I had not hobby because those have the big chases. My argument would be some of their products need to be made more for me, and they don't have that $20,000 card. So people
You're talking a different issue though. Go back to what I just said because you asked how do we get prices to be lower. To anybody in the chat, I'm all for it. By the way,
stop buying. I mean, obviously, you know
that's not true. Okay, hang on. It's not stop buying because you have people on multiple platforms buying it and flipping it. So that's also.
But
not,
could they flip that Tops? Let me ask you a question. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like part of the reason they're sitting at the retail's all of a sudden sitting is because breakers can no longer just go buy the retail and rip it on a break.
Fine, but what does Tops do? You're saying
Start
what a
selling
breaker should
product
do?
unsealed.
Unsealed.
Wait, say that again now.
Sell
Explain.
the product
Explain.
that's not sealed. I think that's the only way you can fix it, right?
So
If you
that
want
they can't flip it.
Yes. Yeah.
So like how One
That'd be
Piece
the only
is
thing
now
they could do, right?
One
Because
Piece
anything
is
else they
now
try and do, you're not going to vet every single person buying from you, so you're going to have no control.
First time I've heard a good
them
answer, by the
flipping it.
way.
But I
That
think
is
that's the only thing.
Yep, that is the first logical. Now, again, the pushback here would be for Tops, they have a ton of money invested in a breaking platform, and breakers move a lot of their product. You can hate breakers, I don't care, but that's the truth of it, right? How do you? So, Dan, in that scenario, they sell on the website and to second
directly to you, and it comes.
But
to you
that's unsealed. Breakers get their stuff sealed, but they are not allowed to do it anywhere but break it live. So, and then you can because you can control the price.
Yep.
I don't.
My theory for them has always been that they need to funnel everything through Fanatics Live. If I was them and I wanted to maximize revenue, I'd be saying if you want to be a breaker, you want to be a local card store associated with us, you can only break on Fanatics Live.
What's crazy though, the biggest 5 accounts don't break
make the commission. I know, but they can fix that. They have the control. They can fix it overnight. And
I think they're trying to
if they were to do that, that would also give them more control and bring more accountability to the industry as well. Because the second a breaker does something shady, they say, you know what, F off, you're not buying from us anymore. Guess what? You're out of business.
But
you control everything.
In that scenario, though, that would actually be if Fanatics got that involved, that would be a good thing for the hobby. Then, correct?
I think if it's done right, like you're giving all the power to one entity. That's very scary.
It's terrifying. Yep.
Well, let me ask you a question.
There'd have to be things off the back of it, right? That they'd have.
I
to
love
have
that
in
answer,
there.
by the way, Dan. I think that would be phenomenal.
The allocation system's busted because the breakers get like a hobby product.
Exactly.
We use like Tops Chrome jumbo boxes as an example.
Mm-hmm.
They get a larger percentage of the allocation. If they just sold everything to direct to consumer, the box prices would be lower. But they're giving such a high percentage to the breakers, and the way that they manipulate everything with just giving just a couple of boxes on that initial pre-sale direct to consumer, the amount that they put out is so small. They sell out like that.
Yeah.
Neil, what
we have no
percentage?
idea. We have
Give
no
me a
idea how many they're
percent.
actually putting for sale. It could be
Yeah,
5
exactly.
boxes.
Are
It could be
breakers getting
500
80%? What are we
No.
looking at here?
They've already said publicly they're getting about 50% of the product. And
Yeah,
then
but I think
hobby
that's
caps
across
about
all
40.
SKUs, not hobby releases specifically. I think they're saying Tops Chrome basketball,
Okay.
all SKUs, 50% are going to the breakers, 50% are going elsewhere. But I think the 50% that's coming to us are blasters and megas and stuff like that.
Got it. Got
Yeah,
it.
that would
We're
make
talking hobby
Because
stuff.
their breakdown was 50-40-10. It was I think it was 50-40 breakers, LCS for 40, and then 10% direct.
They were talking at an extremely macro level. They weren't
Yeah.
drilling down to an individual product. Like, for
Okay.
example, Sapphire basketball, there's no way that was what the percentage split.
By the way, Sapphire basketball though,
1,000?
none of us breakers got solicited. Very few got solicited for that.
So
At all.
Backyard Breaks had pallets of it.
Sure.
that product went from $1,000 to resale value at $5,000. So how come they can't put a cap on like the percentage that people can resell this product at? And if you're caught reselling it at these massive markups, then you lose your allocation. Why can't they pull the allocation?
I'll answer that for you right now. You could do it with allocated accounts. Most people, though, it's the same way guys on Whatnot can break gilded 3 days early because there's no recourse. They're not buying direct anyways. How do you go after those guys? But you're right, for people with accounts, absolutely.
I have a.
Is
I
there
want
any
to go back to
restricted trade there with consumer law restricting how much you can sell something for though with a direct account?
No, MSRP is a pretty standard practice here. I mean, that would be about the same, right?
That's one of the things I've suggested in the past too. Like if you're restricting who you can sell to, if you find out that person is then on selling it, you can, ban them as well or remove them from your list. There's so many levers they can pull that I think will really help with control. The problem is I think the control is going to open up a lot more issues.
The only person I'd scheduled was Vintage Dan, and he's sitting there just listening to people. So Vintage Dan, thank you for hanging out, and I'm sorry it turned this is awesome. I mean, this is just great. So
I just wonder how much of this that Gio has discussed is based on his own personal business. I mean, can you come into this objectively and give answers objectively?
I mean, I've asked a question objectively. Like I said, lower prices for me mean I have more audience to sell to. That actually benefits. I mean, I made just as much money in 2017 breaking as I do now.
I'm talking about like the concept that breaking boxes or ripping wax is 99% of the time is a losing proposition. You're better off buying singles. Really?
Yeah. Again,
I mean,
you're talking.
Did you see Chris Sewell did like a whole thing where he went to a store, he bought a whole bunch of different products and different sports. He took them home. He broke down exactly what came out of the boxes, how much he would pay for it as a dealer. And he was getting like 13%.
I mean, it's the worst return of investment.
Yeah, again, though, you guys
of all time in cards.
Here's my objective view, though. You are only looking at it at ROI, right? Which there's no objection. You're correct. I don't ever say to anybody buy into a break to make money, but you take out. People always tend to minimize the human experience with it. People like being it. No, hang on, Jay. It's true. You don't like it. I get it.
No, it's not that I don't. I've been there. You end up with boxes of cards that you don't. You end up with boxes and boxes of cards you don't want, don't need.
Just prove my point. You can skip the entire point of I want to be in a room with 100 guys BSing and doing trivia and screwing around and getting a product and having some fun, and I don't make money. You always jump to the beginning and end. I don't disagree.
It's not. Hold on, but it's not the beginning or end. I was in the hobby at 12, 10, 15, 16. You don't think I wanted to I opened boxes, but soon you realize, man, I could have went in the card shop and spent $300 on that, or I could have this awesome Steph Curry rookie card. And you know what? You go home and you open it and you feel like an idiot because instead of putting a really nice card into your collection, you had some fun for 15 minutes opening a box of cards. That's my experience.
It's a different experience though, right? So it's a different experience. So they're servicing different things, Jay. So like I was pretty big into breaking like 10 years ago. I think it's a lot of fun, but for me now it's at the price point where I can't even enjoy that anymore because it's too expensive. I think the concern that I have with breaking is not that it's not fun, is that it's been so normalized where that's the only avenue you can get now to open boxes, which is the problem.
That's a problem, by the way. We agree there too. Objectively,
and a lot of the new people
I think that's
find
an
breaking.
issue.
That's what they find. I mean, it's advertised. That's what a lot of how I think it's an entry point for a lot of people at this point.
It is, and that's the problem because that's the only way they can get into it now, right? But the call to breaking is what it was 10 years ago, and that's just people getting together wanting to have some fun.
Correct.
So that element is legitimate, and I can understand people still wanting to do that and that being a valid thing to be doing. But the issue is now you've got new collectors coming in, and if they want to rip boxes, that's the only way they can do it, and it's so expensive, and they're going to get skunked. It's not going to end well for anyone, right? So,
and that's a problem, by the way. As a breaker, I will tell you that though. I think breaking has gotten too big in the hobby. I absolutely think that. Not only because selfishly it gives me more competition, but I think it's a problem when LCSs can't get more product because guys can break it. But I also am realistic. You like to Jay's point, I want to go home and just rip a box and pull my Steph Curry. That's not a marketable event for a company. A marketable event.
Right. That's right.
Absolutely. I'm realistic. But a marketable event is, oh, look at these 4 guys on camera playing music and having a good time. There's 100 guys in the chat and there's an experience.
And there's a loaded box.
Absolutely. Oh, anytime I can get them, baby. I just tell them to put a Sharpie on it so I can make sure I jack the price up
my way, please.
Send them to
it's
me.
fun. It's fun on the camera. It's not fun in the audience when you're losing money. I mean,
but it
you
is,
know,
Dan.
what
Dan,
you're talking about.
You're wrong.
I know.
Eventually, it's not.
I know the experience
Eventually,
you're
like
talking about.
Diamond Collector, it's not.
I used to be young. You can have the thing where the guys get together and rip packs together and talk about sports and have a great time and throw a few beers back. That's great. I would love to have that again. The problem is that it's $100 a box or $150 a box or $500 a box.
Sure.
It's not fun anymore.
It's too far gone.
It is for some people, though. It is for a lot of people, or it wouldn't be as popular as it is. Well, numbers don't lie there.
I think it's popular for the people that are not going to sustain this industry long term.
I also
Maybe,
go in
Dan,
those rooms. Those rooms are not thriving.
Well, you
I've
go
been
to the
in
wrong
rooms
room.
one
By the
time.
way, you're
rooms-
right.
rooms
Most
don't
rooms
have.
Jay, you're absolutely right. But there's a reason most breakers aren't thriving and are not around a long time.
For instance,
That's the reason.
Pac-Man has what? He's supposedly getting 60,000 views. You go in his whatnot break. He has 100
Trash.
people in there.
Trash.
You know, if
It's
that. You know, I mean, what you say?
Yell at
It's chat's
people to
broke,
buy the break.
remember?
Yeah.
Yes, chat's broke. They can't afford $5,000 player spots.
I
need
did
to
have a
run
question
because I
for
need to look
Dan.
after the kids. Or is
Oh,
that a
Dan,
question for
real
me?
quick before you leave, real quick, which I'm so sorry, but I've been wanting to ask this question
Oh,
because
good.
Neo, One Piece recently, if you buy a box of One Piece at a credited store, whatever you want to call it, they'll open it right then and there. You have to take it open now. They're not going to let you leave with it sealed. That's how it's supposed to be. So I just wanted to clarify, Dan, is that what you're saying, or are you saying no seal at all?
I'm saying if like Tops would have it sealed, they'd sell it to me online and it'd come unsealed, or it'd come with the seal broken.
Once it's sold, that seal gets
Yes.
broken.
Yeah, that's how I think about it. Yeah,
I would
hate to
love
run-
to see the amount of sports.
Hey, Dan,
card
thank you for showing up. Have a good night, Dan.
Yeah, there will. There's like so many shenanigans as well now. That's a huge problem to fix. But yeah, I need to run. I'll chat to you guys after. Dan, I'll send you another message on Instagram.
Hey, now.
The amount of
Thanks, Dan.
engagement off of, I could already see the posts in Gio's Facebook group of, I bought this jumbo box, Top sent it to me open and pulled out all the good packs and swapped them with bad packs.
By the way, though,
I was thinking
Dan's answer there is the only one I've actually heard that I think, you know what, possible. Because I do. I ask that question all the time.
They're never going to do that. They'll never do that.
They don't want to do it. I mean,
but nobody else here had an answer for it.
No, it's a good answer.
No one ever does. That's always my question. I'd love to hear. I ask it genuinely. But
All right, well, Dan had a good.
I think Neo has an answer. I agree with Neo and what, at least if I understood him right in some of your past videos.
Yeah, it's the to me the other answer is allocation. I like Dan the Cardman's answer. I think the root of the problem is how the product is divvied up.
Maybe, but again, as a business, why would you?
I don't disagree.
I know because you got.
But
we want to.
I don't
here's my main thing.
I don't like is how Topps manipulates the prices of sealed. That's what I don't like.
How so?
By trickling out a little bit.
Oh, creating demand, false demand.
Yeah,
Sure.
they're putting out a false
Agreed.
A false scarcity.
Yep.
Because they put a very small percentage for sale. It sells out instantly.
Yeah,
It goes
creates
the
a
few
frenzy.
boxes trickle to eBay. They immediately get jacked up, and then that allows you, the evil breaker, to sell the spots for even higher.
The evil breaker. Neo,
bot-
you came on talking some sense
other-
today.
I mean,
The
I've
other
been saying that
problem
for
is the
months.
bots.
No, I like what the few things you said.
Where's
Coming from
your
you
tinfoil
means
hat? Is
more.
that next to you
than if
now?
I
Can you
say
get
it.
your tinfoil hat?
Hey now. Oh, I do like that tip. I want to give
bots
Dan, go ahead, go ahead.
breaks and stuff. Like if Neo goes on, he can't buy one box. And I've even tried to go on some of those releases and try to get like one box. It's not like I'm trying to get a case or 2 cases or 10 cases. You know, like sometimes.
I cut you off. I'm sorry.
No,
I had to.
It's just frustrating. Like we can't even buy one box or a couple boxes, and then if we don't, then guess what? The price goes. It could be double, anywhere from 30% to double to like it could be 5x. You know. It's just
Sportsman
it's
Dan, the other Dan, has been waiting forever, so I want to give him
Wait,
a
how many
minute.
Dans
What
are
have
on
you
the
been waiting
stream?
for, Dan?
I'm a peasant in the sports card content community.
No, go ahead.
But,
shoot. I know you sent in so you got the Drazen
Yeah.
Petrovic auto, which
real
I
quick,
questioned.
Gio. I met your boy Roman Anthony, great guy, Gio. Just
Nice.
saw you in here. Had to shout him out.
Yeah,
him and
buddy.
Christian
Yeah,
Campbell, as an O's fan.
Come on. What are we calling for?
Sorry. Go ahead, Professor. I apologize.
No,
Let
you
this guy
go.
talk.
What'd you call in for?
Let this guy talk.
Okay, so new to the whatever card content scene. That's not important. What is important? I plan on going to the National for the first time. I'm booking my hotel. I'm booking my flight. I guess I've watched all the YouTube videos. I have the source here. I mean, I couldn't ask, I think a better audience this question. Is it worth it? I guess, first of all, here you go. Now's the time to book it. I'm committed. What should I avoid that first day? But I plan there going with my girlfriend, so doing some other stuff in Chicago. But I want the most out of the National. It's my birthday trip. Don't get it wrong. I'm doing the
last year
National
was
every
my-
day.
Last year was my first year. The best advice I give you, I don't understand why people do it. Don't wait in the line to get in. That line is you go a half hour
VIP,
or VIP, but it's like it makes no sense to wait in that line. I just waited a half hour till it
go
died.
early. Dude, you can get more done Wednesday, Thursday, paying extra for those 2 days. Don't even go Saturday. Go spend the day with your girlfriend. Dude,
Saturday was almost it was the most uncomfortable of the days.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want that. Okay, good to know.
Drink water.
Is Saturday? How come, Neo?
Sunday.
Why Saturday?
Sunday. No, he's right about Sunday.
I left Saturday. That's why.
You have to go first thing in the morning because a lot of dealers will start to pack up as the day goes on. But usually that place is a ghost town on a Sunday.
Are they ready to make a deal because it's the last day?
I've done a couple of Sundays. I don't know. I find Sunday to be depressing, and there's really not much left. I mean, I think the best advice is get the VIP, don't wait on the line, and do Wednesday, Thursday.
Agreed.
And maybe even Friday. Friday's a little busy. But again, it depends on what you're looking for. Also, what do you collect?
Yeah, you going there to buy, or you going there for the experience? What's the?
I guess both. But right now, I'm trying to finish off my 86 Mets on card autos, preferably a 86 card. So I need to finish that out. I got a couple obscure ones, but I'd like to upgrade like my Jesse Orosco. I'd like to upgrade my Daryl Strawberry. I got a good Keith.
Make
but
sure
stuff
you know
like
there's
that.
so much, and you're gonna want to find tables that when you find a table that there was only a handful of tables I actually wanted to even buy, and this place is huge, and I found maybe 5 tables I really liked, and that was it, So some of it's overpriced. Find the tables you really like, and I would spend some time there. That would.
How many card shows have you been to?
It tells you where the tables are. Download the app that tells you where the tables are.
I didn't know that. That's good advice.
In the app, you can flag the table too, so you can save it. So you will not.
Good advice.
The biggest mistake you will make is you will walk up to a table and you'll be like, "Oh, there's some cool stuff here. I'm gonna come back here later." And you look around and you'll go, "I'll remember where this is. There's this." Obvious
you're right.
thing right
You're
here.
right.
And 5 minutes later, you're like, "Where the fuck am I?"
I did not. I did not know
numbers.
I didn't find the autograph area till the 3rd day, and I thought I walked it. It's amazing.
A different world.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
Hey now, well,
I was gonna say I like vintage, so I'm excited. I got my recent pickup was a 61 Alberto Clemente there.
How many card shows have you been to?
Yeah, that is a good question.
So I heard that question. I've been selling pretty heavily. Sorry, it's actually it's a terrible, but it's clean. It's clean.
That's not 61.
I'm sorry. Thank you. See, I'm getting into the vintage. Thank you.
How many card shows have you been to? That's a good question.
I've been selling pretty heavily over the past 2 years, so I probably sold at like 15, 18 shows, but I've probably been to
big heads up then. You have a big
but it's my first national, and I'm bringing the girlfriend. I'm like, yeah, this is my thing. I do this. So just fine.
Dan, here's the other question: where are you staying? Can you walk to it? Because do not Uber in the morning.
I haven't booked it yet. That's why I came. So I'm literally booking it today. And what better place to ask?
A lot of the hotels are already gone. I was looking.
A lot of them are, but if you can stay within walking distance, that Uber line, dude, you can see people getting out on Main Street.
I heard there was a shuttle. Is a shuttle decent?
Just stay on
the road.
I was a mile away, and I still I loved it. I loved having to walk. So, but I wouldn't go any further than a mile away. That's my,
I like walking to cities too, but I'm the same way. A mile.
It's not a city.
Yeah, you're not going to. Unfortunately, it's not. You're going to have to trek into Chicago. It's all right. Hey, but we got Trike, and after Trike, what made you? Good to see you, Trike. How you doing?
What's up? How's it going? I mean, I don't want to derail the whole conversation.
Oh, I know. It's okay. It's all right.
I thought we moved past the buying views allegations.
I mean, the king of cards the king of cards is too much. And then I looked at Roth cards, and then I looked at Eric Michael, and it's just too.
Hang on, Trike. Let's cut to the point here. Because I asked about you because I was genuinely curious.
Yeah.
I didn't want to show it, Trike, but I have to.
Yeah, Jay.
I tried to change the subject just so you guys know.
Yeah, which I don't like. If we're going to be authentic, like Jay preaches authenticity, I want to know. And I asked genuinely, your comments were super low compared to the views, which again I don't think means that much on anybody's.
It
but
does.
we made a big deal with everybody else. The question has to be asked to you then: do you buy views? Why is the engagement?
He said
so low?
no. I mean, he said no. He's gonna
no. I mean, I'll answer direct. Like, no, 100%, never. Not bought views, not bought subscribers, nothing ever. I don't really know what I could say about the comments. I will say a little bit though. Like, the smaller, like if you're like Professor, your videos, you're going to get more comments because you have a more engaged community. It's more controversial. It's like kind of asking for
I
people's
know, but
opinions.
Chris Sewell is bored. You know, he's not controversy, and he's, you know, I don't
It's
know.
different though. I mean, like, I don't know. I don't really feel the need to like specifically defend that. But if my video is about ripping like retail sports cards, like it's just there's not much to comment.
Okay,
like,
let me
just
ask you a question. Why wouldn't, you know, just a question I have then, and maybe you want to do this because it's supposed to be our engagement, and the way YouTube works is the more comments and the more likes you have, the more it gets pushed to others. And so I guess why wouldn't any of you start engage, like, you know, leave a what do you think? Like, why wouldn't there be a call to action to have someone comment? Because that is how YouTube works. I'm not in it because like I make YouTube content every day. The more comments you can get, that normally means that, okay, you have a bigger opportunity for your channel to see more eyes. So it justifies my lot from what I know from YouTube. And you still like you're saying no, and you call in, and clearly, I mean, I like you a bunch.
The thing I'll say too is I don't really feel like doing it right now with like 200 people watching. But if you ever want to look, I'll show you. We can do a screen share. You can look at all my analytics because that's the real thing. If someone's buying views, it shows there.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
I've given this example before. When you buy views or whatever, like the views are botted. They're most of the time they're not from America. They're from like Click Farms and this stuff. Like your analytics.
It shows you ran a promotion because when I first started my channel 4 years ago, let's see how this works. And so for 500 views, and that's the very first video. It shows as a promotion. So if you do look, and none of my other videos have it, if you look at the back end, it will show you. You're absolutely right.
But
I have told you before,
creator to show their views on a specific video and see what country they're coming from.
Yeah,
it's literally that simple. If I forget what the percentage is, I think like 90% of mine come from the United States. If you have someone that has 100,000 views that's making sports card content, that's a US based or an English based content creator, and they show you their back end, and it shows like 50% is coming from Asia or overseas, then the gig's up.
So by the way, then, Jason,
Canada.
So Jason, let me ask you a
a lot of Canada.
If other people came on here and did the same exact thing that Trike did, like that came on, answered the question directly, and offered to show. Again, I'm not trying to defend anybody, but I like people to be treated the same. Like we went after Kyle, fine. You went after Card Collector 2 and Jeff. Trike got a pass now, which by the way,
no, it's not. I've reached out to Jeff. Jeff won't even take the time to respond. I've reached out to Card Collector 2. They won't even take the time to respond. Trike is at least going to come on and be a gentleman. I'm with you. And
I just am curious.
These guys will avoid any of the conversation.
I agree. And by the way, that's why I said I like Trike's stuff. I actually started watching him because of the show. But I am glad to hear, like, if they did the same thing, they would get the same pass, because it sounds like he has a reasonable answer.
Well, no, because the other thing is, how much can I pick? What else am I supposed to? Fuck you, Trike. You're not allowed on. Like, what am I supposed to do? You know, there's not much I can. I respect Trike. I like Trike, but it doesn't mean my head doesn't operate the way it does. You know.
Yeah, well, two things too. I don't expect you or anyone to like take this as like truth. Like, oh, Trike said he doesn't, so there's no way he can be doing it. Like, sure, like people can still be skeptical. Like, my word is only my word. And then one other thing I will say is, it, as I said before, it does happen out there though. And I've heard of some stuff, and I don't really want to like go deep into it, of people being very sketchy when, okay, let's see your analytics. Oh, no, I can't show them when it comes to brand deals and stuff like that. So
yeah, which by the way, Troy, I said that to Jay. I said, I told you this, Jason. I was like, hey, they've started digging in and finding the servers, and it happened in the podcast world, which is why podcasts got deplatformed. The same thing. People were lying about their listeners.
Bill Simmons even said it on YouTube. Bill Simmons came out the article. Bill Simmons saying that, you know, these YouTube podcasters, these sports ones, they're not fake. Some of these views are they're fake.
Yeah, you go through the top 20 sports podcasts in the world. It's like Bill Simmons, Ryan Russillo, and then there's 3 guys you've never heard of. It's like, wait a minute, and they sign a huge sponsorship deal, and a month later they come after them for fraud. It's marketing or advertising fraud, whatever it is, and they lose them and they get deplatformed. So that is a real thing. Like, guys, there are ways to prove that thing now, which is great.
Yeah. I mean, the sad thing is it kind of works though. Like, it happens, it's happening in the streaming world. And I'm sure I don't know a ton about the podcast world, but I'm sure, you know, like some of those people have gotten big deals and stuff, like you've said. I mean, obviously now they've been found out, but
sure.
Like I said, it unfortunately does happen in the sports card world, and it does work a lot of the time. Unfortunately, that's the thing. I was just venting to someone about this just today, but it is what it is. Like, there's not really anything you can do
Trike,
about it.
I can see it in you. You're starting to see. So I know that Pac-Man thing
Neo,
had you down.
I need
and now
Neo's
this.
tinfoil hat. I want to join the crew.
Therapies. I think, guys, we've been over 2 hours, and I'm going to be back. I can't come on tomorrow till 6, and I want to thank you, all of you, for calling. I mean, this was unreal. This was really fun. Trike, anything closing segue? And Monday night, we're not going to talk about buying views, but Monday night you're going to be here, and we're going to have a collision.
Yeah. Well, maybe we can add that somehow. I don't really know how we like debate
Rip some
that.
arena packs with him. Trike.
I have a question since we have everybody here.
All right, let's wrap it up here. Go ahead. We'll let you do up.
What is your, since all you guys love Golden, what's your sellout amount? If Golden asks you to do one season with him, I'm being sarcastic.
I don't know, $500,000.
Mine would probably be like 150. I might do it for like 150, but like 2 would be nice. But I know some other guys gonna have bigger pockets. But I'm curious, what's
These
your
guys
sellout
aren't
amount?
Case of Stadium
Gio
Club.
will. Some of these guys will. Your sellout amount to do it.
To sell the brand, like to sell the company?
No, like we'll do one season with Golden. Like you're gonna do one season.
How's that a sell it?
Let
That's
them
huge.
film you.
Yeah, but that's huge exposure. I do that for free. Anybody with a brand.
I knew you would. Some other people think it's sell out. You'll be like, bring me on. What's your dollar amount? One season. What would it take?
I would do it for free. To be on Netflix on a top 10 show? Absolutely. To be able to get my brand out there? Free.
The man's
100%.
honest. The man is honest. At this
Why
end,
would you-
guys, we've been 2 over 2 hours.
Hey,
I
good
just
night,
wanna say
guys. Thank you for the
again.
time, buddy.
Thanks again, guys. Here we go, one by one. Actually, let's add Vintage Dan. Vintage Dan, I apologize. I had called, I had messaged you and we were going to talk this whole thing, and now you ended up being a bystander the whole time. So thank you for being a good sport.
I got to talk to Neo a little bit, which we don't really do. We just kind of trade barbs back and forth. And I got to confront Gio about his conflicts of interest and the fact that he fired somebody on the air. So I'm all good.
I'm glad to hear. Hey, Dan, have a great night.
See you.
All right, gentlemen, ladies, I will be on tomorrow at 6 o'clock. We're going to have Blue Red Master call in. We're going to do some rankings. We're going to have AIH call in. He hasn't sent me what he wants to talk about, so I'm still not sure. But this was a great show. This was unreal. I think we had 245 at peak. It was a little slow start. There were some issues with YouTube, some other lies, but 245, that's 3 weeks in a row, over 200. So that's really neat. That's awesome. I can't say enough how much fun I have. I come here Tuesday, Wednesday after a long day of work, and we do this 4 hours between the 2 days, and it feels like 10 minutes. So I can't say thanks enough for all the support, kind words, the community sending me stuff. And I'll see you all again tomorrow at 6 p.m. my time, 9 p.m. I don't know if we'll do 2 hours. We'll just give it a feel. And I don't want to do that often. Guys, ladies, have a great night, and we'll do it again tomorrow. Hey now.